spell's was cast so powerful that time itself seemed to stop. A princess fell into an endless sleep, waiting for the one who could awaken her. Let me take you into the magical tale of Sleeping Beauty. Under the radiant sun, the royal castle courtyard bursts to life with a grand celebration. King and queen appear on the balcony, radiating joy as they present their newborn daughter, Aurora. Nobles in elegant attire and villagers in simple clothing gather below, their faces filled with admiration and hope. A collective blessing rises from the kingdom, a symphony of goodwill offered to the royal family and their precious Aurora. Within the castle's grand hall, fairies dance on beams of light around Aurora's cradle. Each fairy bestows a magical blessing upon the infant princess. The hall is bathed in a warm, magical glow, highlighting the purity of Aurora's spirit. Beauty, grace, and kindness descend upon her, gifts from the enchanted realm. The fairies circle the cradle, their wings shimmering with shining light. A sudden gust of wind races through the great hall, extinguishing the vibrant candles and momentarily cloaking the room in darkness. At the end, dramatic appearance. "How dare you forget me?" she thundered. "Very well. I shall give the princess a gift she will never forget." Her eyes blaze with fury. On her 16th birthday, the princess shall prick her finger on a spinning wheel and fall into a sleep that will last forever. A hush descends over the celebration, the joyous sounds abruptly silenced by the threatening presence. All eyes fixate on the dark fairy. Her presence was a dark effect to the festive atmosphere. In the echoing expanse of the castle great hall, a gentle fairy emerges, her presence casting a calming aura. Her voice, soft and melodious, cuts through the heavy air, offering peace against the curse's grim shadow. A wave of fear washes over the hall, yet a flicker of hope ignites in the hearts of those who listen. The fairy's words echo with gentle power. Aurora will not die, but sleep, awaiting true love's kiss. Hope blooms with the gloom, a fragile promise whispered on the castle winds. Years later, Aurora wanders through the castle gardens, her beauty illuminating the serene landscape. Her graceful steps echo softly among the ancient stones, oblivious to the curse that silently shadows her. Sunlight peeps through the leaves, casting a golden glow upon her unaware face. The castle gardens, a haven of beauty, unknowingly harbor a looming darkness. In her innocent wandering, the curse remains a hidden threat, a silent whisper in the wind. Time passes by, and Aurora turned into a beautiful young girl. One day she was wandering in the garden, and then drawn by an unseen force, she suddenly reached the castle tower. In the castle, an undiscovered tower awaits Aurora, shrouded in mystery. Sunlight struggles to penetrate through the tower's high windows, dust motes dancing in the air. An ancient spinning wheel sits silently in the center of the room, its presence a haunting echo of forgotten times. Aurora steps into the dim light, her gaze drawn to the mysterious artifact. Her curiosity awakened, Aurora approaches the spinning wheel, her footsteps soft on the stone floor. Drawn by an unseen force, Aurora reaches out, her fingers hovering over the spindle. In the tower, Aurora attracts to an unseen force, her hand drawn towards the spinning wheel. A moment of destiny arrives as Aurora's finger touches the sharp spindle. Her eyes widen in disbelief as the curse's icy tendrils take hold. The room blurs as the ancient magic envelops her. The curse transforms her world. In the hidden tower of the castle, Aurora succumbs to an enchanted slumber, her fate sealed. A quiet stillness descends as Aurora lies motionless, her dreams now haunted by magic. Shadows lengthen in the tower, casting an eerie pall over the sleeping princess. The air thickens with enchantment as the spinning wheel continues its hypnotic rhythm. A mysterious spell, like a creeping frost, begins its quick spread through the castle's majestic halls. The king and queen, once vibrant symbols of power, now slump lifelessly on their thrones, their reign abruptly ended. Servants, mere moments ago, bustling with purpose, are caught mid-stride, their tasks forever suspended in the chilling grasp of magic. Another servant is standing, kneeling to scrub the floor, his hand frozen in mid-motion.
Why aren't we moving? What happened?
What's holding you back? Is it the weather? Want me to clean your window?
Here, take a Snickers.
Why?
Because you're a different person when you're hungry.
Better?
Better. You're not you when you're hungry.
Motion, the rich chambers, once echoing with life, now fell into a silence as the magical frost tightens its grip. The castle falls silent as the magical frost stills all life within the walls. Years drift by, and the castle begins its long descent into forgetfulness. Nature's embrace tightens around the castle, obscuring its majestic form. The castle fades into a forgotten relic, veiled behind an impenetrable curtain of thorns. Whispers of its former glory are silenced by the relentless advance of time and nature. The once grand entrance is now a mere shadow, swallowed by the encroaching wilderness. The castle's mystery deepens, lost to the world behind a thorny veil. The brave prince ventures deep into the ancient forest, his curiosity fueled by whispered legends of a sleeping princess. His face, filled with resolve, reflects his firm commitment to overcoming the forest's unknown danger. Sunlight filters through the canopy, casting shadows that dance across the forest floor. As he rides deeper, he presses on, undeterred by the forest's mysteries, driven by the hope of awakening a kingdom's dreams. Before the castle, an impenetrable barrier of thorns twists menacingly under the sunlight. The prince halts before the enchanted castle, his drawn sword sign of resistance against the encroaching darkness. Sunlight flashes against his sword, mirroring the resolve hardening in the prince's eyes. He stands resolute, steel glinting, a solitary figure against a fortress of thorns. Against the towering castle walls, the prince begins his hard journey through the dense, thorny barrier. Fearlessly, he moves deeper, his courage a sign against the encroaching thorns. Thorns claw at his clothes, each snag a test of his firm resolve. Driven by the radiant hope of reuniting with Aurora, he presses onward, ignoring the sting of the thorns. With each step, his determination hardens, fueled by the dream of awakening his beloved. He continues to fight, his spirit unbroken, as he gets closer to the heart of the enchanted castle. The prince steps into the castle, a deep silence swallowing every sound. Dust motes dance in the faint light, illuminating the castle's silent decay. Shadows stretch like grasping claws across the stone floor. Cobwebs hang like decaying curtains, framing forgotten corners of the castle. An eerie stillness permeates the air, a heavy blanket smothering all sound. The soft crunch of the prince's boots breaks the silence, each step echoing in the vast emptiness. The prince navigates the castle's great hall, now a ghostly echo of its former glory. Frozen figures loom like statues, their silence amplifying the hall's emptiness. Forgotten relics scatter the floor, each a silent sign of a bygone era. The prince moves deeper, the weight of a century pressing heavily upon him. He pauses, the immense silence broken only by the echo of his own thoughts. The hall stands as a solemn reminder of time's harsh passage and the stories it buries. The prince ascends to the hidden tower where time stands still. He enters the chamber, and Aurora rests on the ancient bed, bathed in ethereal. Her beauty remains untouched, a vision of serene grace. He approaches, drawn by her otherworldly glow. His heart stirs at the sight of her timeless face. He hesitates, captivated by her serene slumber. Inside the hidden tower, worry creases the prince's brow as he kneels beside Aurora. He gently kisses Aurora's hand, a silent promise of hope in the still air. A visible tremor shatters the silence, an unseen force rippling through the room. The curse breaks with a piercing whine, its power unraveling in a surge of sound. Golden light floods the tower, illuminating every hidden corner as the curse's shadow lifts.
Is everyone ready? Live out your best dreams! What's up, dream besties? Hey, y'all! Come get to know our personalities and accessories. Live out your Barbie Dream Besties! Each sold separately.
The past is everything we were to make us who we are.
It's not until you fall that you fly. When your dreams come alive, you're unstoppable. Take a shot, chase the sun, find the beautiful. We will glow in the dark, turning dust to gold. And we'll dream impossible.
In the castle's hidden tower, Aurora's eyelids flutter gently, signaling the return of consciousness. Her eyes slowly open, revealing a soft, awakening gaze as she looks at the prince. The enchantment lifts, the air itself seeming to shimmer with renewed hope and vitality. The weight of the curse dissolves, replaced by a palpable sense of lightness and freedom. The castle transforms as shadows retreat, replaced by a golden dawn, signaling the end of an era of darkness. Laughter and chatter explode in the halls, tearing through the oppressive silence that once reigned. Servants awaken from a slumber, their faces belief and newfound joy. Dormant life surges back into the forgotten kingdom, breathing vitality into every corner. Sunlight bathes the great hall in a golden glow, illuminating the ancient tapestries and gleaming floors. Aurora stands radiant, her soft smile reflecting the boundless affection in her eyes. The prince returns her loving gaze, his eyes sparkling with unconditional adoration. Their hands remain clasped, a silent sign of their shared joy and deep connection. Peace fills the air, a symphony of unspoken promises and enduring happiness. The castle courtyard bursts into life, a symphony of joy and celebration. Banners unfurl, painting the sky with vibrant colors as the kingdom rejoices. Music swells, lifting spirits higher as Aurora's awakening echoes through the land. A jubilant crowd erupts in cheers, celebrating the prince's heroism and Aurora's return. The castle, adorned in festive decorations, stands as a symbol of hope and renewed life. Sunlight floods the castle chapel through stained glass windows, illuminating Aurora and the prince. The chapel is alive with vibrant flowers and flickering candles, the air charged with anticipation. The kingdom's members fill the pews, their faces beaming with joy as they witness the union. Aurora and the prince exchange vows in a beautiful wedding ceremony, sealing their love and uniting the kingdom in celebration. The kingdom rejoices, celebrating the sealing of love and the promise of unity. Aurora and the prince emerge from the chapel, their faces glowing with the promise of a shared destiny. A tidal wave of cheers erupts as the crowd celebrates the union. Applause echoes through the castle courtyard, a symphony of joy. The joyous celebration signifies the return of peace and prosperity. Love triumphs as the kingdom rejoices in its newfound harmony. Beneath the radiant sun, Aurora and the prince travel the vibrant kingdom on horseback, their presence a sign of hope and joy. Their love story becomes a legend, inspiring generations to come. Their journey becomes a symbol of love and unity, touching the hearts of their people and igniting dreams of a brighter future. On the castle balcony, Aurora and the prince stand silhouetted against the radiant sun, their kingdom stretching before them. In a tender embrace, they whisper promises of a reign guided by compassion and wisdom. Aurora's voice echoes with hope. We promise to rule with love and wisdom. The prince vows, ensuring a future where curses are replaced by blessings. Aurora's gaze softens as she declares, and happily ever afters are always possible. Together, they stand as sign of hope, ready to usher in an era of everlasting joy and prosperity.
Extra!
Extra gum. Chew good.
I was gonna sleep in late, but then I got high. Ooh, I was gonna let that heal, but then I got high. Lord, I just wanted to walk the dog. I'm not gonna lie. Why, man? Hey, but then I got high. Baby, then I got high. Yeah, but then I got high. La 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 la, because I got high. Baby, because I got high. Yeah, because I got high. La 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 la.
Dear viewers, welcome to my channel. Do you remember Elsa, the Queen of Ice and Snow? Let's relive the memories together. Elsa and Nock travels through the snow-covered area, a dance of ice and spirit under the vast sky. Her watchful eyes scan the enchanted forest below, a silent promise of guardianship filled in her gaze. The bond between Elsa and Nock is a clear and a visible connection, a sign of her role as a protector. In a realm where magic and nature intertwine, Elsa stands as a guardian, her spirit echoing with the enchanted lands. On the snow-covered peak of North Mountain, Elsa and Nock stand against the fierce wind. Suddenly, above them, the winter star pulses with an otherworldly blue light, too much obvious beyond measure. Elsa gazes upward, sensing a mysterious pull. The wind starts blowing harder, swirling around Elsa and Nock as the calling deepens. An intense sense of destiny washes over Elsa, her expression shifting to one of understanding. She closes her eyes, submitting to the humming pull of the winter star. In her ice palace, Elsa moves with purpose, her mind stuck in the brilliant glow of the winter star. The air hums with energy as Elsa retrieves ancient scrolls from the depths of Ahtohallan. Her brow furrows as she pores over the faded text, the weight of history heavy in her hands. The winter star casts a faint, otherworldly light, illuminating the profound significance within the scrolls. In the heart of the ice palace, Elsa absorbs the star's ancient wisdom, her expression shifting with understanding. The fate of Arendelle stays in the balance as Elsa solves the secrets of the past. Among the beauty of the frozen lakes, Elsa begins her search alone, determination hardening her gaze as she tracks the enchanted winter star. Each breath mists in the frigid air, a visible sign to her firm resolve. She travels the vast areas of ice, each step echoing in the empty landscape, her figure a contrast against the white and gray. The pale sunlight casts long shadows across the shimmering ice, enhancing the capturing beauty of the isolate scene. She reaches at the tall atop Wind Spirit peaks, her hair dancing wildly in the fierce wind. The air crackles with raw, untamed energy as whispers of forgotten realms swirl around her. The peaks echo with the voices of wind spirits, their ancient power hum with Elsa. Elsa moves into the silent, snow-laden mountains, a realm untouched by human ambition, where the air is thin and the scenery vast. The biting air whips around her as she treads deeper into the untouched areas. Each step crunches in the clean snow, a solitary echo in the frozen wilderness. She pauses. The silence enhances the greatness of the snow-dusted peaks. A panoramic view reveals the untouched majesty of the mountains, their peaks piercing the crisp sky. Elsa continues her trek, a lone figure against the monumental backdrop, embarking on a journey into the heart of solitude. Elsa, exhausted, ascends the final stretch of the mountain, her breath misting in the frozen air. Before her, an icy door looms, its surface filled with arcane runes that hint at forgotten powers. A tangible wave of glacial energy is emerging from the door, chilling the air and frosting the very ground. Elsa approaches the icy door, her hand outstretched, ready to unleash her magic. A soft, beautiful glow comes from Elsa's hand, illuminating the ancient runes filled with the frozen surface. The runes begin to melt, revealing a glimpse of a breathtaking hidden valley below. The icy door slowly dissolves, revealing a vibrant, lush valley hidden behind it. The contrast between the frozen door and the vibrant valley creates a visually stunning tableau. Elsa gazes upon the valley, a sense of wonder washing over her as she beholds the hidden paradise. Elsa enters the hidden valley, where vibrant greenery meets an otherworldly frost. The landscape is a contradiction of life and ice, a vibrant sign of nature's beauty. A blue frost coats every surface, an enchanting contrast to the valley's lush vegetation. Strange, vibrant plants flourished in this glacial embrace, bathed in an unrealistic, shimmering light. The valley glows with an otherworldly luminescence, a sanctuary of unique beauty. Elsa is surrounded by the valley's serene, frozen beauty, a sign of nature's delicate balance. In the heart of the valley, she approaches the crystal tree, drawn to its mesmerizing glow. The crystal tree shimmers with frozen petals, casting an otherworldly light that captivates her. A voice echoes, unveiling a hidden truth. You are not the only one born of the snow. The revelation hangs in the air. As Elsa stares at the tree, Isolde emerges from behind the crystal tree, a vision of frost and delicate beauty. Her hair sparkles like snowflakes, catching the sunlight in a dazzling display. Her eyes glow with an icy blue intensity, piercing the tranquil forest. She is a creature of winter, born of frost and crystal, a silent guardian of the enchanted woods. The air around her chills, as if winter itself has taken human form. She pauses, a figure of frozen perfection, ready to fulfill her destiny. Beneath the radiant sun, a crystal tree ascends, its frozen branches reaching towards the heavens.
Plus 500 offers a free and unlimited demo account, enabling you to practice CFD trading in real market conditions to familiarize yourself with the platform without risking real money. You can use this exclusive feature until you feel ready to trade. Beyond the platform, Plus 500 has a rich and multifaceted website that offers a free trading academy, daily news articles, in addition to trading webinars and analysis to help traders better understand the intricacies of the market. To sum things up, if you are looking for a well-established trading platform, Plus 500 is your go-to choice. Plus 500, the trading experience you deserve.
Snow sparkles like scattered diamonds at the base of the majestic tree, enhancing the magical scene. Isolde's declaration echoes through the stillness. I'm Isolde, the winter star's guardian. I was made by the same ancient power that made you, Elsa. Her words hang in the air, a challenge and an invitation as the crystal tree silently witnesses. Beneath the shimmering canopy of the crystal tree, sunlight casts a beautiful glow upon Elsa and Isolde. Elsa's eyes widen in disbelief, her face reflecting a mix of shock and betrayal, her voice trembling. Elsa demands, "But why was I never told?" Isolde responds with a knowing look, "Because you weren't ready, until now." She stands in silent awe beneath the crystal tree, its leaves shimmering like 1,000 stars. Sunlight catches the crystalline leaves, turning the tree into a beacon of hope. Suddenly, the sky transforms into an ominous red, casting a sinister shadow over the once bright landscape. A chilling breeze whispers through the branches as Isolde hears a voice. The winter star has chosen you to restore the balance. Her gaze hardens with determination as she accepts her destiny. The hidden valley lays in deceptive tranquility, unaware of the upcoming magical storm. A distant glow flickers on the horizon, signaling the arrival of wildfire magic. The peaceful atmosphere shatters as the sky darkens, and the first winds begin to howl. The valley trembles under the force of the approaching magical storm, nature bracing for impact. Trees bend and sway erratically as the storm engulfs the valley, the air thick with magical energy. The valley turned into a chaos, the once serene landscape now a battleground of fire and wind. In the hidden valley, Elsa raises her hands, a queen commanding the elements. A fierce snowstorm answers her call, swirling winds and icy flakes dancing to her will. Jagged ice walls burst forth from the earth, guardians rising to protect the valley. In the valley, Isolde begins to command the frost winds, her movements fluid and precise. She gracefully shapes the swirling winds, gathering them into a focused stream of icy power. Isolde redirects the sunlight, intensifying its radiant beams to amplify Elsa's magic. The valley shimmers as Isolde's and Elsa's powers combine, creating a breathtaking spectacle of light and frost. The dance of ice and color begins, a mesmerizing ballet of elemental forces clashing against the destructive storm. The valley transforms into a spectacle of clashing elements, a visual symphony of cold meeting heat, hope battling despair. The fiery magic subsides, transforming into gentle embers that drift skyward. The embers rise, painting the sky with fading light. A serene stillness envelops the valley, harmony returning to the land. Balance is restored to the hidden valley. Beneath the crystal tree, sunlight paints the snow-covered ground with a rainbow of colors. As Isolde prepares to impart a precious gift, Isolde's gentle touch guides Elsa's hand, closing it around a shard of crystal that shimmers with ethereal light. "This is your winter star, Elsa," Isolde says, her voice echoing with warmth. Isolde's eyes lock with Elsa's, promising guidance and firm support. "It will guide you whenever the world forgets the beauty of frost," Isolde assures her. The crystal shard glows softly in Elsa's hand, a sign of hope and a reminder. Elsa stands before the crystal tree, her radiant smile mirroring the profound understanding blooming within her. Her heart swells, filled with a purpose now broadened and clarified by the tree's silent wisdom. Elsa's eyes reflect the crystal light, embodying the peace and clarity she has found. Bathed in the tree's glow, Elsa embraces her destiny with unwavering resolve.
قد تسأل ليش في رجل في الصحراء لابس بدلة رسمية؟ سؤالك في محله. يا ترى يكون رجل أعمال؟ هل هو ضايع؟ على شو يدور؟ يمكن يدور على إجابة على سؤال وجودي زي وش الشيء اللي يعطي الفلوس قيمتها؟ ما نقدر نعرف وش يفكر فيه، بس الشيء اللي يعطي الفلوس قيمتها استثمارها بحكمة. روح على capital.com.
Join now and claim your welcome bonus. Top up your account and get a bonus of up to 100%. On Trade. Boost your potential right from the start.
In a moment of shared understanding, their eyes meet, unspoken words weaving between them. A profound, unspoken bond holds them together. Even as the moment of parting arrives, Elsa, with determined eyes, embarks on a journey back to her forest sanctuary, the shard clutched tightly in her grasp. Nock gallops swiftly, carrying Elsa through familiar landscapes, a sense of homecoming washing over her. The forest, once a refuge, now greets Elsa with an aura of unfamiliarity. Carrying the winter star shard, Elsa navigates through the trees as the forest seems to watch her every move. The shard glows faintly as Elsa stops, sensing the shift in the forest's ancient energy. Elsa dismounts, her feet touching the soil of her transformed home, ready to face the unknown. She came to her ice palace, her gaze fixed on the winter star shard, her expression thoughtful. A subtle connection flickers within Elsa, hinting at Isolde's growing importance. The winter star shard pulses with ethereal light, casting shadows that dance across Elsa's face. Awareness dawns as Elsa understands Isolde's role, the shard glowing brighter in her grasp. At the threshold of the enchanted forest, Elsa stands, her transformation complete. No longer merely a queen, but a guardian, she gazes towards the distant horizon. A newfound confidence radiates from her, illuminating the enchanted woods with a soft, ethereal light. Elsa embraces her destiny as the guardian of the winter star, never to face solitude again. Dear viewers, today we are bringing back one of the most beloved tales from our childhood, a story filled with magic, jealousy, kindness, and true love. So sit back, relax, and let's journey together into the enchanted world of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Once upon a time, there was a vast kingdom, lies under an endless area of snow, a tranquil scene of winter's embrace. Snowflakes dance softly from the heavens, each a delicate brushstroke in a serene winter portrait. The kingdom is hushed beneath the snow, its silence increases its greatness. The castle's shadow is sharply defined against the soft, diffused light of the winter day. In the heart of winter, the queen sits in her chamber, a vision of beauty tinged with shadow. Snow falls gently, a stark contrast to the hidden turmoil within her. A moment of sharp pain, the prick of a needle, draws 3 drops of blood. Red droplets fall, staining the pristine snow with a sign of things to come. The queen's chamber is silent.
Extra!
I don't know why anyone comes here, it's just so quiet.
La! La!
Quiet your mind mouth with extra gum. Chew good.
Silent. The fire crackles softly in the hearth. Outside the frosted windows, snow falls, blanketing the world in white. The queen stands in the center of the room, her face pale. Oh, if only I had a daughter with skin as white as snow, lips as red as blood, and hair as black as ebony. Her voice echoes in the stillness of the chamber. The fire continues to crackle, a lonely sound in the vast, snow-covered world. Her prayers were listened, and in the middle of winter, a baby girl enters the world, her skin as white as snow, her lips as red as blood, and her hair as black as ebony. She is named Snow White, a name whispered with adoration and hope. The queen smiles upon her newborn child, yet a flicker of shadow darkens her gaze. The queen's eyes betray a hidden unease, a secret sign of what is to come. After few days, the queen fell ill and couldn't recover back and died. In the frozen depths of the royal tomb, a gloomy funeral unfolds, casting long shadows across the ornate carvings. Grief hangs heavy in the air as the king stands tall beside the ornate coffin, his face filled with sorrow. Young Snow White trembles in the cold, her small heart unable to contain the overwhelming sorrow. Her tear-filled eyes reflect the reality of the queen's eternal slumber. The cold of the tomb mirrors the icy grip of death, a chilling reminder of the void left by the queen's departure. Days passes, sunlight floods the throne room, highlighting dust motes swirling in the air like tiny stars. King Alaric got remarried, stands tall, his presence commanding, yet a shadow of unease flickers in his eyes. Beside him stands Queen Isabella, her beauty undeniable, yet her eyes hold a chilling emptiness. Her beauty shines, yet her eyes remain cold, untouched by warmth or compassion. Her posture is stiff, radiating an aura of superiority that feels unearned and unsettling. A cold stillness settles over the scene, promising hidden depths and unspoken tensions. In the queen's chamber, the queen stands, a figure of challenging royalty before a magical mirror. The mirror's frame, adorned with intricate carvings and shimmering jewels, reflects ancient magic. Her voice echoes in the chamber as the queen poses her timeless question. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all? The mirror responds, its voice resonating with ancient power. You, my queen. The queen stands silently, absorbing the mirror's response, her expression unreadable. Years later, in the queen's chamber, light dances through the tall windows, illuminating the dust around the ornate mirror. A mixture of hope and anxiety filled the queen's face as the mirror shimmers. The queen's voice echoes in the chamber. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all? The mirror responds, its voice chilling. You are fair, but Snow White is fairer than you. The queen's eyes blaze with envy as the mirror's words cut through her. In the grand throne room, the queen embodies cold authority, seated regally on her ornate throne. The royal huntsman stands before her, his face a mask of unreadable resolve. The queen's command slices through the silence. Take the girl into the forest. The royal huntsman remains still, absorbing the weight of the queen's deadly order. The throne room echoes with the unspoken implications of a life. Her chilling directive continues, and make sure she never returns. The huntsman guides Snow White deeper into the ominous forest, shadows enveloping them. Snow White's fear grows with each step into the heart of the darkening woods. The huntsman stops, drawing his dagger, the steel glinting in the dim light. The huntsman's resolve falters, his hand trembling as he hesitates. In the heart of the forest, the huntsman's face is a canvas of inner turmoil as he confronts Snow White. A subtle nod, a silent agreement passes between them, heavy with unspoken words. With a gesture of release, he sets her free into the wilderness. The huntsman urges, "Run, child, run and hide." In the fading light of dusk, Snow White's weary figure emerges from the dense forest, each step heavy with exhaustion. Through the trees, a humble cottage beckons, its warm glow a stark contrast to the encroaching darkness. Hope flickers in Snow White's eyes as she gazes upon the inviting scene, a silent promise of rest. The cottage stands as a sign of warmth and safety, smoke curling from its chimney into the dusky sky. Snow White cautiously steps into the dwarf's cottage.
بدء التداول في بلس 500 سهل وبسيط للغاية، وأفضل ما في ذلك بدون عمولات. عندما تكون مستعدة يمكنك بيع وشراء أي أداة في غضون ثوان. تمتع بالهوامش الضيقة والرافعة المالية الجذابة. قم بإعداد الاختيارات وتحكم في صفقاتك بكل راحة من هاتفك الخاص. حمل الآن.
Her eyes wide with fear. Inside, the cottage reveals a comforting scene. 7 tiny chairs and beds arranged neatly around a warm hearth. The warmth of the hearth gave coziness to Snow White, promising respite from the cold outside. Exhaustion washes over Snow White as she gazes at the inviting beds. Overcome with fatigue, Snow White collapses onto one of the tiny beds, surrendering to sleep. In the quiet of the cottage, Snow White slumbers peacefully, unaware of what the new day may bring. High in the mountains, the dwarves carve their existence into the stone. With each swing, The mountain echoes with the promise of hidden riches. In the heart of the mountain, their legacy is forged with every strike. The dwarf's cottage glows warmly against the night, a haven amidst the darkness. 7 tired dwarfs return from the mines, their faces lined with exhaustion. Astonishment strikes the dwarves as they find Snow White asleep in their beds. With growing sympathy, the dwarves listen intently as Snow White recounts her tale. Sunlight floods the dwarves' cottage, illuminating their curious faces as they gather before Snow White. The dwarves extend an offer of sanctuary. "We offer you safety here, fair maiden. A condition is set, but in return, you must keep our home tidy." Snow White's gentle agreement hangs in the air. "I agree." An unspoken pact forms in the cozy cottage, illuminated by the warm sunlight. Before an ornate mirror, the queen's reflection warps into a haunting vision. Her eyes widen in disbelief, quickly hardening into a gaze of pure, unadulterated rage. A cruel smile graces her lips as she makes a dark decision, the air thick with anticipation. With swift, deliberate motions, she gathers vials and powders, setting in motion a sinister transformation. Her youthful beauty begins to fade, replaced by the encroaching signs of age and decay. The queen stands, now cloaked in the guise of an old woman, her deception complete. Deep in the forest, the queen, disguised as a wizened old woman, searches relentlessly. At last, Snow White's cottage emerges, a haven of innocence hidden among the ancient trees. Her heart hardens as she approaches, a delicate piece of lace clutched in her aged hand. She extends the lace, a gesture of false kindness masking her dark intent. "It's a gift, dearie," she croons, her voice dripping with deceptive sweetness. The lace shimmers deceptively in the sunlight, its beauty concealing a deadly curse. In the cozy cottage, Snow White accepts the delicate lace from the disguised queen, her smile radiant and trusting. A glint of triumph flashes in the queen's eyes as she swiftly ties the lace tightly around Snow White's waist. Suddenly, Snow White gasps, her face contorting in pain as the queen's cruel trap tightens. Snow White collapses onto the floor, her body twisting in suffering as darkness threatens to consume her. Just then, the 7 dwarves burst through the cottage door, their faces grim with worry as they witness the horrific scene. They rush to Snow White's side, their practiced hands moving swiftly to undo the queen's wicked handiwork. In the queen's chamber, fury twists the queen's face as she plots in her heart. With calculated precision, the queen prepares a poisoned comb, her movements betraying her inner turmoil. Her hands, though practiced, tremble slightly as she perfects her venomous craft. The disguise nears completion, each adjustment a step further into deception. Ready to deceive once more, the queen steels herself. A mask of false serenity descends. In the heart of the forest, the queen, masked as a frail old woman, offers Snow White a comb of exquisite beauty.
ليش الناس يحبون يتكلمون عن البزنس والاستثمار وكأنها رياضة؟ لازم تكون أقوى، أسرع، أفضل. وطبعا العبارة الكلاسيكية راح تضيع كل فرصة ما أخذتها. لكن هل هذا الكلام دائما صحيح؟ شفت؟ أحيانا فعلا ممكن تضيع كل ضربة تجربها. فهل فعلا نحتاج نقارن الرياضة بالاستثمار؟ روح على capital.com.
Beauty. Snow White, captivated by its allure, accepts the comb. As the comb graces her hair, Snow White's eyes flutter closed, and she succumbs to darkness. Snow White collapses, the comb falling from her limp hand as unconsciousness claims her. Dwarves burst onto the scene, their faces etched with worry as they rush to Snow White's side. In the opulent queen's chamber, the queen stands tall, a sinister glint sparkling in her eyes. With calculated precision, she begins preparing the poisoned apple. Her movements are deliberate, each gesture radiating pure malice. A chilling declaration escapes her lips. This will be the end of her. In the heart of the forest, an old woman's figure emerges, her face obscured by shadows. Her hand extends, offering a glistening red apple to Snow White, its surface gleaming deceptively. "One bite, my dear," she coaxes, her voice dripping with false sweetness. The apple, once a symbol of temptation, now represents a close danger cloaked in innocence. The forest holds its breath as the queen's trap is nearly set. Snow White took a bite of poisoned apple and fell down. Deep in the forest, the dwarves, their faces a mask of grief, carefully lower Snow White into a crystal coffin. The crystal coffin reflects the forest's vibrant hues, a stark contrast to the stillness within. Tenderly, they adorn her final resting place with a vibrant array of forest flowers, each petal a silent farewell. Time drifts by, the forest silent, except for the rustling leaves, a somber witness to unending sorrow. Sunlight filters through the canopy, casting colorful shadows on the coffin, a beautiful reminder of life's fleeting beauty. The forest stands still, the air thick with unspoken grief, as nature itself mourns the loss of innocence. In the heart of an ancient forest, a prince threads his way through the dense trees, his regal cloak a stark contrast to the wild surroundings. His journey abruptly halts as his eyes find Snow White, still and serene within her glass coffin. He approaches, his gaze captivated by her ethereal beauty. The prince approaches the group of dwarves guarding Snow White's coffin. With a voice full of respect, the prince implores, "I beg you, good sirs, allow me to take her to my castle," he pleads. "She deserves a royal resting place." As his servants carried the coffin, they stumbled, and the piece of poisoned apple was dislodged from Snow White's throat. She awoke as if from a long dream. The prince rejoiced. Soon, Prince and Snow White were married in a grand celebration, and they lived happily ever after.
Extra!
Extra gum. Chew good.
بارادونتكس ترميم فعال للثة يساعد على ترميم اللثة من أسبوع واحد. بارادونتكس.
Hi viewers, from rags to riches, from tears to triumph. Tonight we uncover the story of the girl who became a princess. This is no ordinary fairy tale. It is the legend of a girl who turned ashes into a crown. Yes, this is the tale of Cinderella. Once upon a time, in a quiet kingdom filled with grand castles and green fields, gentle breeze whispers through the kingdom, carrying the scent of wildflowers and promise. The kingdom rests in quiet beauty, a haven of peace untouched by the outside world. There lived a gentle girl named Cinderella. In her garden, Cinderella's gentle spirit shines as she nurtures the blossoming flowers. Her mother gazes upon Cinderella, her heart overflowing with love and pride. She is ill and worried about days ahead. Cinderella is sitting next to her mother as she is not well. One sad morning her mother died. The day casts a somber light upon Cinderella's home, where silence amplifies the weight of sorrow. Young Cinderella stands beside her father. Both are in sorrow. Grief is etched deeply on their faces, a mirror reflecting the profound loss they both feel. The silence is broken only by soft sobs, each breath a sign of their inconsolable sorrow. Their figures remain still. The weight of their loss was very heavy. Days passes by. The quiet sobs echo through the house, a constant reminder of their shared grief. Cinderella's father was always worried about her, as he is a merchant. He has to go out of town for his work, so decided to remarry, and her father prepares to introduce his new family. He presents his new wife with a hopeful smile, unaware of the subtle shadows lurking beneath her gracious facade. The stepmother returns a wide smile, yet a flicker of hidden intent betrays her polished exterior. Drizella and Anastasia stand beside their mother, their expressions mirroring a mix of curiosity and veiled ambition. In the dim light of her home, Cinderella's eyes reflect deep concern as she sits beside her father. Her father was worried as he was going out of town. She gently takes her father's hand, feeling the unseen unease that fills the room. Her father's worry hangs heavy as she offers a soft reassurance.
Everything will be all right, Papa.
Her gentle words seek to calm the tension, her eyes filled with firm hope. But one day, when Cinderella woke up, to her dismay, she got the news that her father died. They received his dead body. In the quiet of home, her father lies still, his face serene in death. A heavy silence descends, broken only by the stepmother's shifting fake attitude. The mask of sorrow slips, replaced by a cold, calculating gleam in her eyes. The room's stillness amplifies her silent transformation. In the somber confines of her home, Cinderella stands alone, her radiant gown now just tattered rags. Her stepmother and stepsisters surround her, their laughter echoing with cruelty, filling the air with malice. Each task is more difficult than the last, a mountain of chores thrust upon Cinderella. Cinderella's eyes reflect a deep sorrow as she accepts the endless tasks, her spirit dimmed but not broken. Cinderella kneels on the unforgiving floor, her face bearing the marks of endless hard working. A burst of color and sound pierces the gloom as a parrot offers a squawked encouragement. Tiny paws push crumbs in an act of kindness, a silent promise of support. In her eyes, the weight of her chores is too much, yet a flicker of flexibility remains. The parrot watches over Cinderella, its bright eyes conveying a silent message of hope. Amidst the ashes and the dust, a tale of dreams endures, waiting for its moment to ignite. A royal announcement came into the tranquil living room, igniting a storm of jealousy. The stepsisters erupt in ear-splitting shrieks, their voices echoing with a frenzy of greed. Their eyes glint with greed, reflecting the promise of gowns and jewels. Demands for new gowns and jewels came from their lips. In the dim light of her room, Cinderella's fingers dance deftly around a needle, weaving dreams into her stepsister's gowns. Each careful stroke of the brush is a suppressed sigh as Cinderella attends to her stepsister's hair. A wistful gaze betrays Cinderella's hidden yearning for the grand ball, a dream just out of reach. The delicate needle glints in the candlelight, a silent witness to Cinderella's quiet diligence. Her gentle touch transforms mundane tasks into acts of quiet rebellion, as Cinderella's heart dreams of a different fate. Cinderella lingers in the doorway, her gaze fixed on the floor, swallowed by the room's shadows.
Whiskas finds the purr in every cat.
In a voice barely above a whisper, Cinderella asks,
May I go to the ball?
Her stepmother sits on a velvet chair, a cruel smirk twisting her lips. Her voice drips with scorn.
You, in those rags? Stay home and scrub the floors.
The stepmother's words hang heavy in the air, crushing Cinderella's fragile hope. In the dim kitchen, Cinderella sits by the fire. Her face shows her sadness, tears rolling down Cinderella's face, each drop a sign of her despair. Her worn dress, now stained with tears, symbolizes the weight of her endless chores. The fire's flickering shadows dance around her, enhancing the profound sense of loneliness. Hopelessness spreads in the air, clinging to Cinderella like a shroud. She remains motionless, surrendering to the overwhelming despair that consumes her. The kitchen glows warmly, long shadows swaying gently, when suddenly a figure appears. Her fairy godmother materializes, radiating a comforting light and deep concern. Her fairy godmother's presence fills the space, her face etched with kindness and worry. With gentle eyes, she softly inquires,
Why are you crying, child?
In the dimly lit kitchen, Cinderella stands, her eyes reflecting the quiet despair of unfulfilled dreams. Her heart pours out, a torrent of unspoken dreams and silent sorrows. The fairy godmother listens, her presence a gentle beacon of hope in the oppressive atmosphere. The fairy godmother's eyes reflect understanding, casting a warm glow in the dimly lit kitchen. The oppressive atmosphere begins to lift, replaced by a fragile hope ignited by the fairy godmother's unwavering support. Under the serene moonlight, the fairy godmother raises her wand, initiating a magical transformation. A plump pumpkin dramatically swells, its skin shimmering as it transforms into a golden carriage. 2 little mice became into horses. In the softly lit kitchen, magic stirs as the fairy godmother prepares Cinderella for an enchanting evening. With a graceful flick of her wrist, Cinderella's rags transform into a shimmering gown of silver. Delicate glass sandals materialize at Cinderella's feet, completing the transformation. She is standing in the kitchen. It's nighttime. The fairy godmother gave gentle warning.
Remember, child, the magic ends at midnight.
Cinderella looks down at her radiant gown, a mix of joy and trepidation in her eyes. The kitchen glows softly, a magical haven before the stroke of midnight. Cinderella sits in her golden shimmering carriage and reaches the royal palace. Cinderella steps into the ballroom, an ethereal glow enveloping her. Every eye in the grand palace turns, drawn to her otherworldly beauty. The prince, poised near his throne, becomes instantly spellbound by Cinderella's beauty. His gaze remains locked on her as she gracefully glides further into the room. In the grand ballroom, Cinderella and the prince begin their waltz, a dance of destiny under the shimmering chandeliers. Their eyes meet, locking in a gaze that can neglect the rich surroundings. As they glide, the music envelops them, creating a world where only they exist. Cinderella, lost in the moment, whispers.
I feel like I am dreaming.
The prince responds, his voice filled with tender longing.
If this is a dream, I never want to wake up.
Lost in their dance, the world fades away, leaving only the promise of an eternal dream. The palace ballroom glitters under the radiant glow of countless chandeliers. The clock begins to strike 12, its chimes echoing ominously through the ballroom. Amidst the whirling dancers, Cinderella's face pales as each chime echoes. Panic flares in Cinderella's eyes as the final chime reverberates. Driven by increasing fear, Cinderella whispers.
I must go.
On the grand palace staircase, Cinderella rushes. She is like a shadow, a stark against the night. A delicate glass sandal falls from her foot, landing softly on the cold stone. The clock begins to strike midnight, each chime echoing the fading magic. As the final chime fades, Cinderella disappears into the darkness, leaving only the crystal glass sandal behind. Under the cloak of night, the prince kneels on cold stone near the palace steps. His fingers, gentle as a lover's touch, lift the delicate glass slipper. Moonlight transforms the slipper into captured starlight. He gazes at the slipper, his face hardening with resolve. His voice echoes through the night, a vow etched in stone.
I vow to marry the maiden whose foot fits this shoe.
Next morning, Prince called upon his armor man and planned to search for the owner of the crystal shoes in every corner of the kingdom. The promise in the air, shimmering with hope and determination. Armor man and prince, after searching everywhere, reached Cinderella's humble home. A velvet cushion displays the delicate glass shoes, a sign of hope in the modest room. The stepsisters push forward, their faces flushed with anticipation, eyes fixed on the prize. One stepsister strains.
The ad guys told us people interested in Capital respond well to images of horses and a wise-sounding voice. But people who really understand Capital don't waste time horsing around. So just go to Capital.com.
Strains, foot twisted, but the glass shoes stubbornly refuses to yield. Disappointment washes over the stepsisters as the glass shoes resists their desperate attempts. Cinderella, with a flicker of hope, timidly asks to try on the glass shoes. Her stepmother and stepsisters respond with insulting laughter, their faces twisted in mockery. Ignoring their cruelty, Cinderella takes the shoes, her touch gentle. The glass sandal slides onto her foot perfectly. A hush descends as Cinderella pulls out the matching sandal. In the warm light of her home, the prince's eyes widen as recognition floods his face. A soft smile begins to form. With a gentle touch, he takes Cinderella's hand, his eyes tender. In a moment suspended in time, the prince asks,
Will you be my bride, Cinderella?
Tears welling in her eyes, Cinderella responds with a huge nod.
Yes, my prince. 1,000 times yes.
Beneath the radiant sun, a grand wedding unfolds in the quiet kingdom. Cinderella's gentle smile radiates as she prepares to embrace a new chapter of life. In a gesture of profound grace, Cinderella turns, extending a hand of forgiveness. Her stepmother and stepsisters look up, their faces etched with surprise and remorse. Cinderella's act of kindness shines, proving that love and forgiveness triumph over all. The kingdom watches, hearts touched by Cinderella's enduring compassion. Dear viewers, tonight we bring you a story of magic, love, and hope. A story of a girl locked away in a tower with hair like rivers of gold. This is the timeless tale of Rapunzel. A lonely cottage nestled beside a garden bursts with life, a contrast to the couple's humble hut. Elara and Thomas stand together, their eyes fixed on the vibrant garden. Their longing gazes speak of dreams beyond their reach. The lush garden teases with its abundance. The cottage, in its simplicity, whispers tales of hardship. Elara and Thomas share a silent moment, their sensible shared desire. Inside the lonely cottage, Elara, pregnant and weak, stands by the window, her gaze drawn to the forbidden rampion. Her eyes reflect a mixture of longing and fear as she stares at the sorceress's garden. Weakness etches her features as she contemplates the tempting greens. The rampion's allure intensifies her inner turmoil. Inside the dim cottage, Thomas's face is etched with deep concern as he witnesses Elara's suffering. A profound decision begins to form within Thomas, hardening his gaze. Thomas's face twists with determination. Thomas steels himself to act. Under the cloak of night, Thomas approaches the huge wall of the sorceress's garden. With cautious determination, Thomas begins his ascent, each handhold tested before his weight follows. Reaching the summit, Thomas pauses, peering into the garden's forbidden depths. His target in sight, Thomas stealthily plucks the rampion leaves, his movements swift and silent. With his prize secured, Thomas begins his descent, disappearing back into the shadows. Inside the cottage, Elara enjoys the rampion with delight. Her eyes light up with renewed vitality as she relishes the taste. Each bite seems to breathe new life into her, a visible transformation unfolding. Her cheeks regain color, mirroring her restored health. A radiant smile graces her lips as her strength returns. Next night, Thomas went again to Sorceress's garden. Under the silvery glow of the moon, he moves silently through the garden, his gaze intently locked onto the rampion. Suddenly, the sorceress appears, her presence igniting the night with raw power. Her eyes burn with an intensity that promises penalty. Her anger fills in the air. Thomas is frozen, his eyes widening as he stares at the sorceress beneath the moonlit veil.
जीन्स पहने हो कि जंग लड़ रहे हो? Don't worry, तुम्हें चाहिए डाउनी फैब्रिक कंडीशनर। एक फुल कैप डिटर्जेंट के साथ बनाए आपके जीन्स को soft and easy to wear. Wow. You see, Downy for brighter, softer, fresher fabric.
I was gonna sleep in late, but then I got high. Ooh, I was gonna let that heal, but then I got high. Baby, but then I got high. Yeah, but then I got high.
Lit veil. Eerie shadows dance across the sorceress's garden. Thomas kneels before the sorceress, his face a canvas of desperation and fear. His voice trembles as he pleads with the sorceress.
Please, you must understand. It's not her fault. The darkness, it demands it.
The sorceress responds, her voice echoing with ancient wisdom.
The darkness always demands, but it is the vessel that chooses to obey.
The garden holds its breath as the weight of the sorceress's words hangs heavy in the night air. Ilara, exhausted yet glowing, cradles her newborn daughter in the dim cottage light. Without warning, the room plunges into darkness as the sorceress materializes from swirling shadows. The sorceress's voice echoes.
She shall be named Rapunzel.
Ilara looks up, startled by the sorceress's sudden appearance and decree. Years later, in the heart of an ancient forest, Rapunzel stands, her radiant golden hair a cascade of sunlight. A cloaked sorceress emerges from the shadows, her presence a blend of mystery and purpose. As she guides Rapunzel, together they approach the enchanted tower. Its height is piercing towards the sky, a sign of destiny. The tower looms closer, its magical aura promising both shelter and imprisonment. The sorceress smiles faintly, her gaze lingering on Rapunzel, hinting at the unfolding enchantment. Under the looming shadow of the tower, the sorceress prepares to call forth Rapunzel, silencing the surrounding forest with anticipation. The sorceress's voice cuts through the stillness.
Rapunzel! Rapunzel, let down your hair.
A braid of golden hair pours forth from the tower window, a shimmering waterfall reaching towards the earth. With each upward pull, the sorceress shows determination. High above, Rapunzel gazes through the window, her eyes reflecting a deep longing for a world beyond her grasp. As the sorceress nears the summit, Rapunzel's distant gaze remains fixed, her isolation deepening with each passing moment. One sunny day, beneath the forest canopy, a prince was navigating the dense woods. The prince halts, his ears catching a melody that dances through the trees. The melody increases, drawing the prince deeper into its enchanting embrace. His face softens, a look of complete excitement washing over him as the music increases. Lost in the symphony of the forest, the prince is completely captivated. The prince remains still, utterly lost in the beautiful sound. Hidden deep within the embrace of ancient trees, the prince observes the looming tower. The sorceress stands boldly before the tower, her voice cutting through the tranquil forest. The sorceress calls, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." The prince watches, unseen, as the sorceress's call echoes through the clearing. Next day, under the bright dawn, the tower looms, its shadow stretching far as the prince approaches. The prince calls out, his voice echoing in the morning air,
Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair.
In answer to his call, a cascade of golden hair begins to descend from the tower window. The golden hair has reached the ground, ready to be climbed. The prince ascends. He steps into the tower, a realm untouched by time. Rapunzel startles, her eyes widening at the sudden intrusion. A flicker of fear dances across her face, quickly replaced by cautious curiosity. She visibly calms, recognizing the kindness in his eyes. Sunlight fills the tower, illuminating the air as the prince and Rapunzel share laughter. Days drift by as they became closer, weaving tales of dreams and longings. A comfortable understanding developed between them, heavy with unspoken emotions binding their hearts. Hearts. The prince is gazing at Rapunzel, captivated by her radiant beauty and gentle spirit. Rapunzel returns his gaze, her own heart mirroring the newfound affection. Flickering candlelight casts eerie shadows across the ancient stone walls of the tower. One night, the prince appears, a mysterious bundle of shimmering silk threads held tightly in his grasp. He brought it Rapunzel to weave a ladder to escape. With practiced grace, he moves silently through the dimly lit tower room. His footsteps make no sound on the worn floorboards, as if the tower itself holds its breath. The tower room remains shrouded in mystery, the prince's purpose concealed in the shadows. Sunlight bathes Rapunzel in a golden glow as she sits pensively by the tower window. One day, Rapunzel, in her innocence, said to the sorceress,
Why are you so much heavier than the prince when I pull you up?
The sorceress's heart turned to stone. In a fury, a palpable tension fills the tower room as their silent power struggle unfolds. The sorceress's face transforms into a mask of cold fury, her eyes glinting with dark intent. With a surge of anger, the sorceress raises a pair of gleaming shears. The shears flash as they brutally snip through Rapunzel's radiant golden hair. Strands of Rapunzel's sliced hair fall like shimmering rain, scattering across the cold stone floor. The sorceress watches with grim satisfaction as Rapunzel's golden locks are sliced off. Under the merciless desert sun, the sorceress raises her hand, a gesture filled with dark power. Rapunzel, her golden hair shimmering like a mirage, collapses onto the scorching sand. Sorceress banished her in a lonely desert. With a swirl of sand, the sorceress vanishes, leaving Rapunzel to face the desert's wrath alone. Rapunzel lies prostrate, her radiant hair a stark contrast to the desolate landscape. The sun beats down on Rapunzel's still form, the endless desert stretching out before her. Alone and vulnerable, Rapunzel remains still, the heat rising from the sands around her. Under the cloak of night, the prince arrives at the tower's base. His voice echoes through the stillness, a desperate plea cutting through the night.
Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair.
From the tower window, a cascade of golden hair descends, shimmering like a river of light, but the golden braid is cut at the top, held only by the sorceress. The prince looks up, a flicker of hope in his eyes as the golden hair falls. Unaware, he has walked into the sorceress's trap, the night air thick with deceit. Under the veil of night, a solitary figure scales the ominous tower, swallowed by shadows. Abruptly, the sorceress emerges from the darkness, a spectral guardian blocking his ascent. Her eyes, twin embers of dark knowledge, pierce the night as tension fills the air. With chilling certainty, the sorceress declares,
Rapunzel's fate is sealed. She awaits a destiny far beyond your reach.
Under the cloak of night, the prince succumbs to profound sorrow. Driven by sorrow, he fell from the tower's height. He lands among thick thorns, the sharp sting searing his eyes. Darkness descends as the thorns cruelly rob him of his sight. Years later, under a relentless sun, a blind prince wanders aimlessly through the desert. His ripped clothes and weathered face speak of years of hardship. Each step is a sign of firm determination. He stumbles, his hands reaching out as if guided by an unseen presence. The endless area of sand mirrors the vastness of his solitude. He presses on, driven by a force only he can feel. In the endless area of the desert, Rapunzel's eyes fix on Prince. Rapunzel appears, cradling two small children twins in her arms. Overjoyed, Rapunzel rushes toward him, tears streaming down her face. As Prince hugged Rapunzel, her tears, filled with magic, fell upon his eyes, restoring his eyesight.
My sight is restored.
They embrace each other tighter, overwhelmed with joy. Overjoyed, the prince took Rapunzel and their children back to his kingdom, where they lived happily ever after. Dear viewers, imagine a world where love is tested with fear, where a single rose can change a destiny, and where a beast hides a secret. Today, we bring you the timeless tale of Beauty and the Beast. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there lived a wealthy merchant in a grand villa. It stands majestically, its white walls overlooking a bustling town. He lives with his 3 daughters. The youngest was named Beauty, and true to her name, she was not only lovely to look at, but also gentle, kind, and humble. Isabella, adorned in fine silks, shares a light-hearted moment with her sisters. Sophia's laughter echoes through the clear air as she enjoys the privileges of her life. The 3 daughters, Beauty, Isabella, and Sophia, revel in their privileged life, their laughter a sign of their joy. In the tranquil morning light, Beauty sits by the window, lost in the pages of her book. Isabella and Sophia burst into the room, their dissatisfaction disrupting the serene atmosphere. Isabella fumes.
This dress is simply dreadful. It doesn't flatter my figure at all.
And look at these jewels. They're so last season. I can't possibly wear them to the ball.
Beauty glances up, a flicker of understanding in her eyes as she observes her sister's distress. The morning sun casts long shadows across the room as the sisters' complaints fill the air. A storm shows its wrath upon the sea, clawing at the horizon with violent fury. Among the chaos, the merchant stands as his ships are torn apart, his dreams sinking beneath the waves. Despair filled itself onto his face, each crashing wave a hammer blow against his soul. With his fortune swallowed by the sea, the merchant is left with nothing but the storm's harsh roar and the haunting echo of lost dreams. As the merchant's fortune was lost in a storm at sea, and the family was forced to move into a small countryside cottage, the merchant assists his daughters from the cart, each step echoing the uncertainty of their new life. Beauty gazes upon their new home with a hopeful heart, her eyes reflecting a resilient spirit. Isabella and Sophia cast sour glances. Their displeasure shows from their faces. One winter, the merchant heard that one of his lost ships had returned to harbor. Warm firelight dances across the humble cottage. Merchant Start prepares for a journey. Hoping to regain his fortune, he set out. His daughters, Isabella and Sophia, watch him with a mixture of concern and quiet anticipation. Merchant told them,
I am setting off in the morning to try and recoup some of our losses. It will be a long and difficult journey. And before I leave, is there anything you would like me to bring back for you? A gift, perhaps?
When Isabella and Sophia heard this, they reveal their spoiled natures, their desires stark against beauty's quiet grace. Isabella said immediately,
Jewels, father. We need jewels.
Sophia echoes the sentiment, her words dripping with extravagance.
And gowns. Silk and velvet, the finest in the land.
In contrast to her sisters, Beauty's gentle voice asks for little.
Father, please bring me a single rose, for they do not grow in this cold land.
Under the cloak of night, a lone merchant pushes his weary horse deeper into the snow-laden forest. Lost and vulnerable, he braves the biting wind, each snowflake a chilling reminder of his isolation. The horse trudges onward, its breath misting in the freezing air, a silent partner in the merchant's desperate journey. As darkness tightens its grip, the forest whispers tales of unseen paths and unknown dangers. The merchant found his ship ruined and returned poor once more. Saddened, he rode home through a dark forest until he came upon a magnificent castle glowing with light. A magnificent castle emerges from the gloom, its windows glowing with a warm, inviting light. Disbelief washes over the merchant's face as he squints at the sight. Drawn by the promise of shelter, he hesitantly approaches the enchanted castle. In the grand dining hall of the enchanted castle, a lavish feast awaits under the expectant silence. A lone, hungry merchant cautiously enters, his eyes widening in awe at the castle's grand look. Drawn by the irresistible feast, he approaches the table, hesitation giving way to growing enthusiasm. He begins to eat, taking each bite of the tasty dishes before him. Fully satisfied, he rests, leaning back in a velvet chair, marveling at the castle's richness. In the enchanted castle garden, the merchant prepares to leave. His gaze settles upon a vibrant rosebush, its petals glistening in the morning dew. Remembering Beauty's wish, he reaches out, his fingers gently tracing the delicate petals. With careful hands, he plucks a single rose from the bush. The rose now in his possession, he holds it tenderly. A fearsome beast emerges from the shadows, its presence a threat to the serenity of the enchanted castle. The beast's mighty roar reverberates, shaking the ancient stones.
The past is everything we were, don't make us who we are.
It's not until you fall that you fly. When your dreams come alive, you're unstoppable. Take a shot, chase the sun, find the beautiful. We'll go in the dark, turning dust to gold, and we'll dream impossible.
احتقان الأنف يمنعك من النوم؟ ببخة واحدة فقط. أوتريفن بتركيبته المرطبة يلطف ويرطب أنفك. أوتريفن وتنفس.
The beast's eyes blaze with fury as it accuses.
You have stolen from my garden. For this crime, you must die.
Before the enchanted castle, the merchant kneels, his voice trembling with desperation. He pleads for forgiveness, confessing his actions were driven by love for his daughter. The beast's imposing presence fills the scene as he listens intently. He declares with chilling authority,
Then your life is spared, but only if one of your daughters comes willingly to live here in your place.
The merchant is struck with despair. Merchant reached his home. Sunlight spills into the humble cottage, revealing dust motes dancing in the air. He sits worried about the beast's demand and discusses the situation with her daughters. Isabella and Sophia glare at Beauty, their expressions filled with resentment. Isabella hisses,
It's all your fault, Beauty. If you hadn't asked for that ridiculous rose, Father wouldn't have been in danger.
Yes, always with your books and your fanciful notions. Now look what you've done.
Beauty sits quietly, her gaze lowered, absorbing the accusations in silence. The fireplace casts a warm glow, its dancing shadows reflecting off the humble cottage walls. Beauty stands tall. A blend of decision and anxiety shows across her face. Her father sits slumped in a chair, his face etched with worry. Beauty's voice cuts through the silence.
Father, do not fear. I will go in your place. Perhaps I may soften the beast's heart.
Next bright daylight, Beauty approaches the enchanted castle, a mix of fear and firm decision on her face. Each step she takes is measured, her determination growing stronger. The castle looms closer, a silent sign of the magic it holds. Beauty pauses, a final breath before stepping into the unknown. In the grand library, she explores the endless shelves, her touch gentle on the ancient books. Moonlight paints the scene with ethereal light, dust motes dancing in the quiet air. From the shadows, the beast emerges, his presence both imposing and strangely hesitant. His voice echoes in the stillness.
Beauty, will you be my wife?
Beauty turns, her eyes meeting the beast's with a mixture of surprise and apprehension. The library holds its breath, awaiting Beauty's answer. In the grand hall of the enchanted castle, silence reigns, broken only by Beauty's words. The beast stares, his face a canvas of hope and despair as Beauty speaks.
No, dear beast, I do not love you.
The beast listens, his hopeful expression slowly fading into despair as her words sink in. The enchanted castle seems to hold its breath, waiting for the beast's reaction. Beauty's words stays heavy in the air, crushing the beast's spirit. In the enchanted castle's garden, Beauty and the beast wander, each step a dance of newfound understanding. The beast's presence exudes a gentle aura as he shares tales spun with generosity, wisdom, and kindness. Sunlight shines through the leaves, illuminating their tranquil walk and the blossoming of an unlikely bond. Their laughter echoes softly, mingling with the gentle rustle of leaves, a symphony of acceptance and increasing affection. Sunlight floods Beauty's room, turning dust motes into fleeting stars as she stands silently by the arched window. Her gaze drifts over the horizon, lost in the quiet whispers of the wind. A wistful expression tugs at her lips. She longed to see her father. Beauty strolls along the path, her steps light as she nears her countryside cottage. A voice echoes in her memory, a plea laced with longing. Stay no longer than 7 days, or my heart will break. From the cottage window, Isabella and Sophia watch Beauty, their expressions clouded with envy. Isabella's voice drips with thinly veiled resentment.
She seems happy.
Too happy. We need to make sure she stays longer this time.
The cottage looms, promising a false sense of peace as shadows gather within.
I was gonna put this guy to sleep, but then I got high. I just wanted to walk the dog, but then I got high. I was gonna go to the club, I'm not gonna lie. Because I got high, because I got high, because I got high. Because I got high, because I got high, because I got high.
البعض يراقب من المدرجات بينما يتحكم آخرون في عجلة القيادة. لا تراقب في صمت، سيطر على مستقبلك. تداول الآن، تداول بذكاء مع Capital.com.
In the quaint countryside cottage, Genevieve and Margot share a knowing glance, their intentions masked behind a facade of sorrow. They clasp their hands tightly, pretending distress with delicate lace handkerchiefs. Sophia dabs at her eyes. Her performance was perfectly done to control Beauty. Their transparent tactics unfolds, each gesture designed to manipulate Beauty into prolonging her stay. Finally, Beauty returns the castle, running through the castle's garden, her heart pounding with fear. Desperation guides her steps as she frantically searches for the beast. A heart-breaking sight. The beast lies motionless in the garden. His strength wanes, sorrow consuming him as he succumbs to his fate. Beauty kneels beside him, her face a mask of anguish, tears rolling down her cheeks. Her voice cracks with anguish as she pleads,
"Oh, beast, please do not leave me. I did not know my own heart until now. I love you, and I will be your wife."
The beast writhes, agony contorting his features as the monstrous facade begins to dissolve. The dark shadow recedes, revealing a handsome prince beneath. Before her stands the prince, transformed and radiant in the soft, enchanted light. His eyes capture the soft glow of the enchanted garden, reflecting a newfound serenity. Among the cheering kingdom, Beauty and the prince stand bathed in the golden light of their wedding day. Radiant in their newfound union, the kingdom erupts in joyous celebration, united in their hope for a prosperous future under the couple's reign. Beauty's family watches from the sidelines, their heart as forgiveness mends old wounds. Her sisters, humbled by past selfishness, offer silent prayers for beauty's happiness. Their expressions a mix of regret and hope. The land looks forward to a future illuminated by kindness and compassion, as Beauty and the prince embark on their journey together. The air crackles with anticipation as the kingdom eagerly awaits the dawn of a new era of prosperity and harmony.
Year 3099. Orion 9 space station hums with activity. A jewel against the velvet void. In spite of the station's grand appearance, a grimy sector tells a different story. Cinderella labors tirelessly, the grease staining her hands as she cleans an air filter. Her dedication shines through the danger of the cold metallic surroundings. Each wipe brings a glimmer of hope to the station's forgotten corner. Cinderella's room overflows with tools and spare parts, a haven of invention. Among the clutter, 3 small AI drones, Spark, Blink, and Whir, fill the air with their cheerful chirps. Cinderella tinkers gently with Spark, her touch precise and caring. The drones respond with affectionate whirs. Their presence are due to Cinderella's skills. On the contrary, Commander Vexa, Cinderella's stepmother, lives a luxurious life with her 2 daughters. She is in the zero-gravity spa, where robotic servants cater to her every desire. Starla and Nova, her daughters, drift alongside her, their fingers dancing across holographic displays as they indulge in virtual shopping. The Asteroid Mall interfaces shimmer around them. Among the weightlessness, gossip flows as freely as the currents of air, binding mother and daughters in a shared moment of leisure. Robotic servants glide gracefully, increasing the scene with an aura of technological service. In this luxury, the boundaries between reality and virtuality blur, creating a world of endless possibilities. On the mess hall screens, news broadcasts announce Prince Andromedon's Zero-G Ball. Excitement sparks through the space station, with hurried movements of the crew. Cinderella watches with longing, her gaze locked on the distant gala's shimmering images. The mess hall buzzes with excited chatter as the crew discusses the upcoming ball. Cinderella's eyes reflect a mix of longing and resignation as she remains still, watching the shimmering gala on the screen. In her rich suite, Commander Vexa's face twists in fury as she grabs the offending invitation. Her voice dripping with disgust, Commander Vexa spits out, "You? At a royal event? You're just a maintenance girl." With a violent gesture, she shreds the ticket, the pieces floating like mocking confetti. Starla's mocking laughter fills the room, adding insult to injury. Nova joins in the cruel amusement, the sound echoing through the suite. On the stark landscape of Orion 9, a luxury shuttle awaits its passengers. Commander Vexa, Starla, and Nova step aboard, their expressions indifferent. With a casual wave, they dismiss Cinderella, leaving her behind. She watches them depart, a single tear drop down her cheek. In the loneliness of her quarters, Cinderella sits,
في فيريرو نحن موطن لعلامات عالمية محبوبة. بدأنا كمتجر حلويات عائلي صغير في ألبا إيطاليا. شغفنا بالمكونات عالية الجودة ولحظات الفرح ما زال يلهمنا اليوم. جودة فيريرو في الصميم.
بارادونتكس ترميم فعال للثة، يساعد على ترميم اللثة من أسبوع واحد. بارادونتكس
sits, her spirit crushed. Suddenly, the room is bathed in an otherworldly shimmer. The light intensifies, wrapping Cinderella in its beautiful glow. Hope flickers in Cinderella's eyes as the shimmer dances around her. Galaxiella shows up, a vision of starlight and shimmering wires. Stars weave through her form, shimmering jewelry twinkling with cosmic energy. Her presence fills the room with the promise of magic and technology. Galaxiella's voice rings out, echoing with otherworldly power. You shall go to the ball! In Cinderella's humble quarters, Galaxiella extends a hand, her touch poised to ignite a heavenly transformation. With the wave of her magic wand, she dressed her into a breathtaking space gown of shimmering silver blue. Stardust weaves through the fabric, infusing it with cosmic energy. Her rugged boots dissolve, reforming as elegant crystal gravity shoes. Under the alien sun of Orion 9, Galaxiella gestures towards a seemingly harmless tiny cube. Before their eyes, the cube unfolds, revealing itself as a sleek star cruiser. Galaxiella warns in her urgent tone, "But remember, its magic will dissolve at midnight." The gleaming star cruiser stands ready for Cinderella to leave for the journey. Cinderella leaves for a daring journey through the cosmos, her star cruiser a sign of hope in the inky blackness. She navigates through the swirling circles of a wormhole, light and color bending around her in a dizzying dance. The ship comes out from the star tunnel, a new galaxy unfolding before Cinderella, promising adventure and mystery. In the Zero-G ballroom of Celstarra, dancers float effortlessly in jeweled gowns and polished chrome. Suddenly, Cinderella enters, and a deep hush sweeps through the ballroom. Her extreme natural beauty captivates all, silencing the artificial glamour. Prince Andromedon, by the shimmering energy fountain, stares, utterly spellbound, in the zero-gravity ballroom of Celesta, Cinderella, and Prince Andromedon begin their beautiful dance. Starlight floods the ballroom, casting an otherworldly glow on the couple as they spin. Cinderella, lost in the moment, wonders aloud, "Have you ever wondered about the nebulae, Prince Andromedon?" Prince Andromedon, captivated by both her and the cosmos, replies, "Indeed, Cinderella. And the ancient galaxies swirling in the cosmic ballet?" Their dance continues, a cosmic ballet mirroring the nebulae and ancient galaxies they discuss. In the Zero-G ballroom, the ship's clock signals midnight. Cinderella floats weightlessly, suspended in the air. Her eyes widen in silent terror as the clock's chime echoes around her. Weightlessness amplifies her sense of helplessness and dread. In the bustling crowds of Celestar, Cinderella makes a swift escape. Her shrinking star cruiser streaks across the sky, like a fleeting shadow against the cosmic canvas. In her haste, a single crystal gravity shoe was removed from her feet, falling unnoticed onto the landing ramp. In a zero-gravity ballroom, starlight dances through crystalline walls, unveiling Prince Andromedon. He clutches a crystal show, its facets scattering rainbows across his regal face. A determined glint sparks in his eyes as he studies the crystal show. His voice echoes through the ballroom. I vow to find its owner. The crystal shoe gleams, a sign of hope in the vast areas. Aboard the Celestara, Prince Andromedon's intense gaze at the vast areas of the galaxy. His face shows his determination. The stardust readings fluctuate, tantalizing him with the promise of a breakthrough. Hope flickers in his eyes as the faintest trace of a lead. Fragile, yet undeniable. In the vast areas of space, Prince Andromedon's ship cuts through the void. A sign of hope seems in the darkness. With graceful precision, the ship approaches Orion 9, a symbol of unity in the face of cosmic challenges. The ship docks seamlessly with the space station, a crucial moment that bridges worlds and ignites new possibilities. Commander Vexa's luxury suite becomes a prison as Cinderella is locked inside the maintenance pod. Starla and Nova step forward, their ambition burning bright in their eyes. Starla tries to force her foot into the shoe, but it fiercely rejects her attempt. Nova steps up, hoping for a different outcome, but the shoe denies her as well. The shoe remains untouched on the floor.
ليش الناس يحبون يتكلمون عن البزنس والاستثمار وكأنها رياضة؟ لازم تكون أقوى، أسرع، أفضل. وطبعا العبارة الكلاسيكية راح تضيع كل فرصة ما أخذتها. لكن هل هذا الكلام دائما صحيح؟ شفت؟ أحيانا فعلا ممكن تضيع كل ضربة تجربها. فهل فعلا نحتاج نقارن الرياضة بالاستثمار؟ روح على capital.com.
Galaxy, take pleasure.
Floor, a silent judge of their unworthiness. Frustration mounts as their dreams are repeatedly crushed. In the stark corridor of Orion 9, Spark, the AI drone, streaks towards the prince. The drone emits a whirring sound as it approaches, its purpose urgent. Suddenly, a holographic image flickers to life, casting a delicate glow. The image solidifies, revealing Cinderella's true identity in a burst of light. The revelation hangs in the air, transforming the sterile corridor into a stage of destiny. With an outstretched hand, the prince's voice echoes through the bay. Will you join me among the stars? The question hangs in the air, a promise of adventure and destiny. Cinderella's eyes reflect a hopeful glint, a soft smile gracing her lips. A quiet determination settles in her gaze as she speaks. Only if I can bring my friends. Cinderella strides confidently onto the royal cruiser, her presence commanding attention. A silent escort of drones surrounds Cinderella, their metallic bodies gleaming. The royal cruiser awaits, a symbol of power and prestige, ready to embark. Against the backdrop of a swirling galaxy, Cinderella, the prince, and their AI drone friends embark on the voyage of stars. The spaceship streaks through the cosmos, leaving a shimmering trail of stardust in its wake. Among the stars, they share tales of kindness and courage, echoing the unforgettable story of a girl who danced among stars.
Dear viewers, the snow had stopped falling in Arendelle, and Elsa felt a silence in the air, a sign of a darkness rising from the north. Arendelle stands strangely bare, the familiar blanket of snow conspicuously absent. The lakes, usually frozen solid, mirror the somber sky, reflecting a disquieting stillness. An unsettling atmosphere stays heavy in the air, a stark contrast to Arundel's vibrant winter charm. Villagers gather in worried clusters, their faces etched with confusion and growing fear. Murmurs ripple through the crowd, hushed voices speculating about the unnatural weather. A sense of anxiety settles over Arundel, as nature itself seems to hold its breath in anticipation. In her chamber within Arundel Castle, Elsa stands motionless by the window, her shadow framed against the brightening sky. Her eyes, usually bright with determination, are clouded with a subtle unease as she scans the distant horizon. A disturbance in the delicate balance of nature sends a shiver of anxiety through her. The gathering storm outside mirrors the tempest brewing within her, each dark cloud a reflection of her growing worry. Her breath hitches, a silent acknowledgement of the coming turmoil, as Elsa prepares to face the unknown threat looming on the horizon. In the Arundel Castle map room, Elsa stands amidst a sea of ancient maps, her brow furrowed in intense concentration. Her gloved finger traces mysterious routes across the piece of map, seeking answers in the faded lines. The heavy oak door creaks open, revealing Anna, Kristoff, and Olaf, their faces mirroring worry. Subtle snowflakes dance around Elsa, betraying her inner turmoil as she battles with her instincts. Elsa confesses, her voice echoing in the vast room.
My instincts are guiding me north. I need to understand why.
The group ventures into the Arundel Mountains, where the vibrant landscape fades, replaced by a desolate terrain. With each step, the temperature plummets, their breath misting in the frigid air. They press onward, their figures small against the imposing, barren peaks. The wind howls relentlessly, a chilling symphony echoing through the isolate area. A sense of anxiety settles as they journey deeper into the unforgiving mountains. The group steps into the untamed expanse of the northern wilderness, where the air bites with an unnatural chill. They find themselves in a place where few have dared to tread, the silence profound and unsettling. The landscape stretches before them, stark and imposing, a sign of nature's raw power. An eerie stillness hangs in the air, hinting at the mysteries that lie hidden within this isolate realm. The group stands at the edge of the unknown, ready to confront whatever secrets this forsaken land holds. Before them lies the Midnight Glacier, a river of black ice stretching into the distance, ancient and ominous. The glacier pulses with a dark energy, its evil presence sensible in the stark, frozen landscape. An unnatural cold emanates from the black ice, chilling the air and hinting at forgotten powers. The very ground seems to resist their approach, as if warning them to turn back from the glacier's dark embrace. Beneath the looming shadow of an immense glacier, a village of rough dwellings clings to the frozen earth, the air biting with relentless cold. The group, cloaked in furs against the harsh elements, enters the village, their arrival stirring a palpable unease among the inhabitants. Villagers watch from the shadows, their eyes filled with suspicion and a primal fear as the strangers pass. A hushed whisper snakes through the crowd, laced with dread. The shadow, it stirs. Another voice, trembling with ancient terror, echoes the sentiment. Older than the world itself, under the stark light of day, Elsa cautiously approaches the colossal glacier, its icy face gleaming with an otherworldly beauty. Hesitantly, she reaches out, her gloved hand trembling slightly as she awaits the touch of the ancient ice. The moment her fingers make contact, a delicate spiderweb of cracks erupts across the glacier's surface. An immediate and threatening response. The cracks spread rapidly, like fractures in glass, each line a sign to the immense power contained within the frozen depths. A visible shudder runs through the ice as the glacier groans under the sudden stress. A symphony of creaks and snaps echoing through the desolate landscape. Elsa stares in awe and slight fear, her eyes wide as she witnesses the glacier's dramatic reaction to her touch, a clear sign of the magic that binds them. Under the pale light of day, a desolate glacier stretches into the distance, its frozen surface scarred by time and cold. From the glacier's heart, a vortex of shadows begins to swirl, a frightened sign in the landscape. Dark, icy entities emerge from the vortex, their chilling presence extinguishing all warmth and hope. The frozen shadows ascend, blanketing the glacier in a pall of despair, a silent promise of eternal winter. Under a sky heavy with the threat of snow, a desolate glacier stretches into the distance, an icy wasteland under the pale light. Against the horizon, a figure emerges, shadows and imposing, the leader of the shadows. The air crackles with unseen power as the leader surveys the frozen domain, their presence a chilling promise of darkness. A voice echoes across the ice, cold and sharp as the wind.
You command winter, but winter belongs to us.
The threat stays heavy in the air, a challenge to the very essence of the frozen kingdom. The leader of the shadows proclaims.
في فيريرو نبحث دائما عن طرق جديدة لمفاجأة وإسعاد عملائنا. يمزج خبراؤنا الشغف مع التفاني في الإبداع لتقديم تجارب تذوق فريدة. جودة فيريرو في الصميم.
شي يعني دايما بستغل سايبر مونداي وبلاك فرايداي لتجديد البيت. ماكينة قهوة جديدة، شوية ديكور وحتى إلكترونيات. مع شوب أند شيب بتخلي فليكس الموضوع سهل. أكثر من 40 دولة مغطية والتوصيل عندك. خطة الكلفة قليلة وهلأ عليها خصم. عن جد أحسن طريقة تستفيد من عروض الموسم.
Claims.
Yield, or your kingdom will drown in endless night.
Under the pale gaze of the moon, Elsa's hands dance, conjuring a furious blizzard that whips across the glacial areas. Shimmering ice walls rise at her command, catching the faint light in a dazzling display of frost and magic. Anna's firm spirit shines as she arranged their defense, her voice a hope in the swirling snow. Kristoff, sturdy and resolute, hacks at the encroaching shadows with his ice axe, each strike echoing through the frozen air. Olaf, ever the optimist, hurls snowballs into the fray, tiny bursts of hope against the encroaching darkness. Yet, the shadows twist and unite, growing stronger, a frightening tide threatening to engulf them all. In the heart of the midnight glacier, Elsa halts, her breath clouding the frigid air as doubt shadows her face. A grim realization dawns. Brute force is futile against the glacier's ancient power. Her gaze hardens with newfound resolve. With a deep, fortifying breath, she plunges into the glacier's icy depths, drawn by the haunting darkness. Deep within the midnight glacier, Elsa discovers a shard of ice, its blue glow piercing the surrounding darkness. The shard glows with an inner light, a vibrant blue heart beating in the frozen landscape. It glows with an unnatural warmth, defying the glacier's icy grip, almost as if it were a living star. Elsa stares, mesmerized by the intense light and energy emanating from the glacier's core. In the heart of the midnight glacier, Elsa stands, her breath misting in the frigid air. Her hands gently touch the shard, a channel for the immense love she holds. Love for Anna, Olaf, Kristoff, and her people flows through her, a light in the icy areas. A gush of warmth emanates from Elsa, a sign of the unbreakable bonds that define her. In the heart of the midnight glacier, Elsa focuses her compassion on the frozen shard. Instead of freezing, the ice reacts to her warmth, a soft glow beginning to emanate from within. The shard intensifies, pulsating with a light that defies the surrounding icy landscape. A beacon of warmth and hope shines brighter, promising a transformation within the glacial core. Deep within the midnight glacier, shadows dance in anticipation. Suddenly, a blinding light explodes from Elsa, casting a kaleidoscope of shimmering colors across the icy core. The glacier's depths are bathed in an ethereal glow, transforming the frozen landscape into a spectacle of light and magic. The light pulses, revealing hidden facets within the ice, as if the glacier itself is awakening. The crushing darkness retreats, yielding to a soft, ethereal glow within the glacier's core. Moonlight spills into the heart of the ice, illuminating a landscape transformed. The glacier stills, its ancient heart now pulsing with a gentle, otherworldly light. The ice radiates a serene luminescence, a hope against the stark, frozen world. An eerie calm descends, the glacier whispering secrets in the soft, moonlit silence. Against the backdrop of a midnight glacier, Elsa appears, her face a canvas of exhaustion, yet illuminated by the radiant glow of victory. The glacier looms, a silent, majestic giant, its icy facade reflecting the ethereal moonlight. Tranquility descends as the glacier, once a formidable challenge, now mirrors Elsa's serene triumph. Each breath she takes is a sign of her strength, a visible sigh of relief in the frigid air. The scene transforms, a symphony of light and ice, celebrating Elsa's monumental achievement under the watchful moon. Against the majestic backdrop of the Arundel Mountains, figure radiant against the stark landscape, Anna, her face etched with a mix of relief and contemplation, follows closely behind, her steps echoing in the crisp mountain air. Kristoff strides alongside them, his sturdy presence a comforting reassurance on their journey back to Arundel. Olaf bounces along merrily, his cheerful spirit undeterred by the long walk, a beacon of lightness among the travelers. Under the cloak of night, Arundel awaits its winter transformation. The first snowflakes descend, ethereal and silent, from the heavens. Each delicate flake dances in the air,
This was supposed to be one of those meaningful stories. Something about winners, losers, and inspiring wisdom. The ad guys also told us that successful people interested in capital and a wise-sounding voice. But people who really understand capital don't waste time horsing around. So just go to capital.com.
In the air, a harbinger of the season's magic, the kingdom's rooftops begin to shimmer. Draped in first silver pour, a hush falls over Arendelle, as if nature itself holds its breath. Winter's gentle embrace begins, promising a season of enchantment and wonder. In her solitary chamber, Elsa stands guard by the window, a queen amidst the silent, swirling snow. The soft glow of moonlight casts long shadows across the room, hinting at the battles fought and those yet to come. Her expression is a mixture of serenity and decision, a queen bearing the weight of her kingdom's past and future. Elsa's room in Arendelle Castle glows with an ethereal light, shadows dancing softly on the walls. Anna enters, her face etched with concern, a silent question in her eyes. A heavy silence settles between them, thick with unspoken fears and mounting tension. Anna's voice breaks the quiet, tinged with worry.
Elsa, I can feel something's not right. What's troubling you?
Elsa's gaze hardens with resolve, her words firm despite the undercurrent of fear. I have concerns, Anna, deep ones. But know this, I will face them. I have to. Elsa strides through Arendelle, her footsteps a gentle rhythm on the ancient cobblestones. Her warm smile radiates through the kingdom, a light of hope and resolve in her eyes. The wind whispers secrets of snow and pine, a reminder of the magic that surges within her. She is a queen, a guardian, her power humming beneath her skin, ready to shield her people from any threat. Against the backdrop of Arendelle's majestic, snow-capped mountains, Elsa stands, her breath a fleeting cloud in the frigid air. Her eyes reflect fierce resolve as she begins her practice, the mountains echoing with the promise of her growing power. With a delicate flick of her wrist, she summons a flurry of snowflakes, each one a unique masterpiece of ice. Shimmering ice sculptures rise from the frozen ground, sign of her precise control and growing skill. Each movement is deliberate, a dance of magic performed with the weight of responsibility upon her shoulders. She prepares with every breath and spell for the shadows that loom on the horizon, her icy power her only shield. Under the cloak of night, Elsa stands like a shadow against the twinkling lights of Arendelle, a solitary figure etched with resolve. The wind whispers around her, carrying the weight of her responsibilities and the chill of the coming trials. Her gaze sweeps across the sleeping kingdom, a silent promise forming on her lips. With unwavering determination, Elsa declares into the night,
I will be ready.
Hi, viewers. They call him a villain, but in truth, he was only a lonely soul who was abandoned by his parents since childhood. This is not just a tale of gold and bargains. It is the heartbreaking story of Rumpelstiltskin, a man who only wished to be loved. In the regal expanse of the royal court, a poor miller sweats and gives humble gestures, his every word a desperate plea to the bored king. The king, initially indifferent, sits upon his throne, but a sudden glint of interest sparks in his eyes as he turns his gaze towards the miller's daughter. His once listless gaze now sharp, the king's attention fixates on the daughter. In the dim tower room, the miller's daughter sits amidst piles of straw, her despair palpable. The spinning wheel looms before her, a stark reminder of her impossible task. The spinning wheel looms before her, a stark reminder of her impossible task. Rumpelstiltskin stands before her in the dim tower room, a mischievous glint dancing in his eyes. He gestures towards the piles of straw, then to her necklace, a silent deal offered in the oppressive silence. Desperate, she nods, her hand trembling as she parts with her precious necklace. With a dramatic flourish, he magically spins the mundane straw into shimmering gold. The king gazes upon mountains of gold, his eyes gleaming with greed in the torchlight. Driven by greed, the king leads her into a vast chamber filled with straw. His voice booms through the treasury.
More. I demand more gold.
Rumpelstiltskin appears, his eyes gleaming in the dim light as he makes his demand. Hesitantly, she removes the ring and places it in his waiting hand. Rumpelstiltskin closes his fist around the ring, a smirk of satisfaction crossing his face. With a mere flick of his wrist, the room once again glitters with gold. The king, increasingly impressed, gestures grandly, sealing her fate. The king proclaims,
I promise to marry her if she succeeds a final time, placing her in the largest room of all.
In the dim tower room, the miller's daughter stands defeated, her spirit crushed by the impossible task. Rumpelstiltskin's eyes gleam with greed as he recalls their dark pact. He reminds her of their bargain, her firstborn child, once she ascends the throne. Doubt clouds her face as she considers the improbability of her future. With a heavy heart, she nods, sealing her fate. A year has passed. Soft sunlight fills the royal bedroom, highlighting the stillness of the room. The queen lies in bed, gently cradling her newborn child. Suddenly, Rumpelstiltskin appears from nowhere, his eyes burning with greed. He threatens.
I have come to collect my payment.
The queen, eyes wide with terror, stumbles back. In a desperate plea, she extends her hands, offering the kingdom's riches.
Please, take anything. Gold, jewels, the entire kingdom. Just spare my child.
Rumpelstiltskin's chilling reply echoes through the room. He confronts the queen.
I refuse.
The queen's face is pale and etched with worry. Rumpelstiltskin declares,
I will only release her from the promise if she can guess his name within 3 days.
In the castle hallways, the queen launches into a frantic guessing game, her voice echoing through the stone corridors. She rattles off a long list of strange names, each more absurd than the last, but none strike the mark. Days turn into a blur of desperate attempts as she exhausts every weird possibility, but his true name remains elusive. Emerging from the dense forest, a messenger's face shows exhaustion from his tiring journey. A triumphant grin lights up his face as he is holding a piece of paper. He recalls the echoes of Rumpelstiltskin's wild dance and song, revealing his secret name in the heart of the silent forest. Rumpelstiltskin appears to claim the promised child. The queen acts as if she knows nothing about their deal. She pretends that she doesn't know. The queen's eyes sparkle with playful curiosity as she begins her guessing game. Rumpelstiltskin reacts with pure delight to each of her attempts. With a triumphant grin, the queen declares,
Perhaps your name is Rumpelstiltskin.
Rumpelstiltskin, consumed by fury, unleashes his rage. He stomps his foot with such force. His rage peaks in a forest clearing, an expression of unbridled fury etched on his face. In a moment of self-destructive madness, Rumpelstiltskin tears at his own leg. He fled into the forest and wept until his voice was gone. He wandered deeper and deeper into the shadows, where no one would ever find him. The queen and her child are safe, untouched by the chaos. They lived happily ever after. Hi viewers. Long, long ago, when magic still whispered through the petals of flowers, there lived a woman who wished for a child so small she could cradle her in a teacup. One day, her wish came true, for from the heart of a golden blossom, a tiny girl was born. Her name was Thumbelina, and her story begins here. In a sun-drenched village garden, a woman kneels. Her posture shows a deep sorrow. The lines on her face tell a silent story of past joys and future absences. Her husband died, and she was left alone. She tries to make herself busy in gardening. With careful fingers, she tenderly caresses a rose, its vibrant petals a complete contrast to her inner world. Her eyes, pools of profound sadness, reflect the garden's bright hues, yet understands only shades of grey. The garden thrives around her, a painful reminder of the life that continues even in the face of loss. One day, she visited a kind old witch, her face a canvas of deep longing. She leans in, the air thick with unspoken hopes, her voice barely a whisper. She confesses,
I wish for a child.
The old witch listens intently, her eyes reflecting centuries of secrets and untold stories. A silent understanding passes between them. The witch smiled and handed her a tiny seed, saying,
Plant this in a flower pot, and your wish shall bloom.
Inside her sun-drenched home, the woman delicately cradles a tiny seed, poised to bestow life. With tender care, she presses the seed into the dark, rich earth of a flower pot. A gentle cascade of water awakens the soil, nurturing the silent promise within. Bathed in the golden embrace of sunlight, the flower pot finds its place on the windowsill, a beacon of hope and growth. Days melt into a gentle rhythm of light and shadow, painting the walls with ephemeral patterns. A beautiful flower blossoms, its petals shimmering like spun gold, each one a tiny sundae. The flower's radiant beauty fills the room with a sense of serene anticipation. The golden light seems to pulse with a quiet, expectant energy. Within the heart of a vibrant flower, a miracle unfolds as its petals unfurl. Nestled within the bloom, a tiny girl, no bigger than a thumb, stirs to life. Her delicate eyes flutter open, blinking in the gentle light of a new day. The woman watches in utter amazement, her eyes widening at the sight of the miniature child. A tender smile graces her lips as she beholds the tiny being before her. She whispers, her voice filled with wonder.
Oh, you're so small. I'll call you Thumbelina.
In the quiet of night, Thumbelina dreams peacefully within her walnut shell cradle, rose petals tenderly covering her. Soft light bathes the tiny cradle, emphasizing the delicate beauty of her slumber.
I was gonna put this guy to sleep, but then I got high. La da da da. I was gonna walk the dog. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, but then I got high. But then I got high. Yeah, but then I got high. La da da da.
With Sensodyne Clinical White, people can achieve 2 shades whiter teeth and protect their teeth from sensitivity 24/7. It's actually amazing to know that this product is clinically proven and specially designed for sensitive teeth.
Her slumber. A woman stands vigil, her gaze filled with love and protection. A lullaby fills the room, its soothing melody a promise of safety and warmth. One night, moonlight spills into the bedroom as a monstrous toad. Its skin, slick with slime, slides in through the window. Its bulbous eyes fixate on the peacefully sitting Thumbelina, unaware of the looming danger. A sinister thought bubbles in the toad's mind as it gazes upon her delicate form. The toad croaks, its voice a low rumble in the quiet room.
Oh, what a pretty bride for my son.
Under the cloak of night, he kidnapped Thumbelina and gently sets her upon a broad lily pad. The lily pad begins its solitary drift into the gloomy river, carrying Thumbelina away from the solid earth. She sits up, disoriented, her small form vulnerable against the vastness of the dark water. Her face crushes, a wave of despair washing over her delicate features. Her voice, a light whisper against the night, cries out in anguish.
Mother, mother!
Tiny fish playfully nip at the base of a lily pad, unknowingly setting Thumbelina adrift. The fragile stem snaps, and Thumbelina begins her journey on the gentle current. She floats serenely, a tiny figure amidst the vastness of the river. The river carries her past silent forests, their green canopy a stark contrast to the bright sky. Sun-drenched meadows blur by, vibrant colors accompanying Thumbelina on her unknowing adventure. Sunlight glistens on the water's surface as it flows endlessly, carrying secrets and possibilities into the unknown. The melodic songs of birds fill the air, a bittersweet symphony accompanying her solitude. The towering trees along the riverbank seem to whisper ancient tales, their leaves rustling with the wind's mournful sigh. Thumbelina's eyes reflect a profound sense of isolation, her heart heavy with the weight of being utterly alone. Lost in the vastness, she gazes at the horizon, a tiny speck against grand nature. Lost and vulnerable, Thumbelina seeks refuge beneath the vast areas of a vibrant leaf. The forest floor, green and shadow, dwarfs her tiny frame, drawn by her delicate aura. A colorful butterfly dances in the sun-dappled air nearby. The butterfly flutters closer, as if answering a silent call, its wings a kaleidoscope of hope. A silent offer of freedom and escape stays in the air, promising a journey through the summer skies. A big black beetle emerges suddenly, its shadow looming ominously over Thumbelina. The beetle's mandibles clamp down with surprising force, seizing Thumbelina. A swarm of other beetles gathers, their multifaceted eyes glinting with cruel amusement in the sunlight. A chorus of high-pitched, grating laughter erupts as the beetles jeer. Ugly, strange, alone, and unwanted, Thumbelina takes flight, seeking refuge in the dense, silent woods. She vanishes into the green depths, leaving behind the world that scorned her. The woods become her home as the seasons turn, painting the landscape in hues of loneliness and flexibility. Thumbelina finds herself isolated, a tiny figure against the grand nature. Snowflakes descend, transforming the woods into a silent, white expanse. Amidst the frosted landscape, Thumbelina trembles, her small form struggling against the biting cold. A field mouse, a flicker of warmth in the frozen wilderness, reluctantly came out through the snow-laden ground. The mouse spots Thumbelina, a sign of vulnerability amidst the snow. Driven by compassion, the field mouse gently nudges Thumbelina towards the promise of its warm burrow. Sunlight floods the cozy field mouse burrow, illuminating dancing dust motes and the simple comfort within. With a sweeping gesture, the field mouse presents her humble home, a haven of warmth and light. Her eyes gleam with a mixture of kindness and calculation. She declares,
You love your desk, I love my shades. You chase the clock, I chase the rays. You're in the zone, I'm in my robe. You lead the team, I lead the globe. Oh, 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 oh. You do the grind, I do the glide. You set the chairs, I flip the vibe. Your desk is dusty, my lounge is sweet. HQ is where the cool ones meet. Oh, 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 oh. You stress the task, I stress the tan. You're in a spreadsheet, I'm in the sand. You have deadlines, I have days. HQ is better in every way. Oh, 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 oh. You bring a frown, I bring a cheer. You dread each day, but I love it here. You're in a cubicle, I'm in the sun. You book a meeting, I book some fun.
she declares, her voice echoing in the small space, sealing their fate with her words.
You shall live with me, but you must marry my neighbor, the mole. He's rich and warm and lives underground.
Deep within the damp, dark tunnel, a kind but gloomy mole shuffles through his subterranean home. A constant twilight reigns, enhancing the mole's melancholic solitude. In his heart, a silent wish echoes, that Thumbelina might forever share his shadowed existence. The darkness of the tunnel becomes a metaphor for his desire to keep Thumbelina safe and close, away from the uncertainties of the world above. In the dimly lit tunnels, shadows dance on the rough-hewn walls, revealing the cold, damp earth. One day, Thumbelina found a fragile swallow lies still, its wings half frozen, a stark contrast to the tunnel's rough surroundings. The small bird is motionless, and its delicate features are illuminated by the faint light filtering through the tunnel. Deep within the quiet earth, the winding tunnels of the mole stretch into darkness. In a hidden corner, Thumbelina's silhouette is illuminated by a soft, ethereal light. With gentle hands, she tends to the injured swallow, her small form radiating warmth and compassion. Each movement is delicate, each touch a silent promise of healing. The swallow, nestled in her care, is a fragile symbol of hope in the subterranean gloom. Sunlight floods into Mole's tunnel, turning dust motes into a swirling dance of light. The swallow stretches his fully healed wing, testing its strength with a newfound confidence shining in his eyes. His gaze pierces through the sunlit tunnel, offering an invitation filled with hope. He urges, his voice echoing with promise.
Come with me, little one. Fly away from this cold place.
Flickering fireflies cast a dim glow in the tunnel, illuminating Thumbelina's sorrowful face as she stands near the exit. The weight of the day presses down on her as she whispers a final farewell.
Goodbye.
Her heart heavy, she prepares to leave behind the only life she has known. In a tender moment, she leans down to kiss the field mouse, a gesture of love and gratitude. I can't bear it, she thinks, her resolve firm despite the pain of parting. Thumbelina, tiny but resolute, ascends into the radiant embrace of the sun, perched upon the back of a swift swallow. Together, they burst into the open sky, leaving the shadows behind. The world stretches out beneath them, an endless tapestry of green and gold. Valleys unfold in grassy waves, carved by the patient hand of time. Rivers glisten like ribbons of liquid light, winding through the landscape. Mountains rise in majestic peaks, their summits piercing the blue sky as Thumbelina and the swallow journey onward. Thumbelina finds herself in fairyland, where huge flowers loom like vibrant towers. Gossamer wings catch the sunlight as tiny fairies dance among the blossoms, their forms ethereal and fleeting. The air vibrates with their laughter, a symphony of tinkling bells echoing through the enchanted land. Each petal glows with an otherworldly light, illuminating the delicate features of the fairies. Thumbelina marvels at the scene, a world of magic and wonder unfolding before her very eyes. In a fairy garden awash with sunlight, Thumbelina stands among the vibrant blossoms, a tiny figure among grand nature. Her eyes widen with wonder as a figure descends from above, his wings catching the light. Prince appears, wings gleam, gazing at Thumbelina. The garden holds its breath, a silent witness to the meeting of two souls in a realm of magic and light. Sunlight bathes the fairy garden in a warm, golden glow, illuminating every petal and leaf. The fairy prince extends his hand, his eyes reflecting a hopeful gleam as he gazes at Thumbelina. He asks, his voice a gentle melody in the tranquil air. Will you be my queen? Thumbelina's shy smile blossoms into a radiant expression as she whispers,
Yes.
Wings bloom, light transforms Thumbelina. May blossom, winged, dances with Prince, laughter echoes. Sunlight catches her delicate wings, each beat a sign of her new life, far removed from the world she once knew. Far below, a distant cottage stands, a poignant reminder of a life left behind. At the window, her mother's wistful gaze rests upon the empty sill, where once a tiny girl dreamed of a world beyond. A tender wish escapes her lips, a silent blessing carried on the breeze. May my little Thumbelina always be happy.
في فيريرو نلتزم بتوريد مكوناتنا بمسؤولية. معرفة مصدرها تساعدنا على بناء سلسلة تحترم الناس والكوكب. جودة فيريرو في الصميم.
أحمد ما اختار هالسيارة، وأكيد ما اختار هالتمرين. اختيارات كثيرة ما تشبهك إلا هذا. أوزن بلس تشبهك.
Dear viewers, on the coldest night of the year, while golden lights glowed from warm houses and laughter filled the streets, a small, bare barefoot girl walked alone through the snow. In her trembling hands, she held only a few matches, her last hope against the biting winter wind. No one knew her name. No one stopped to see the sadness in her eyes. But that night, under the silent falling snow, a single match would light more than just a flame. It would reveal a story the world would never forget. The story begins like this. Once upon a time, when snow starts to fall, a silent curtain on the old town square, its cobblestone streets disappearing under a thick, white blanket. Gas lamps cast an ethereal glow, stretching long shadows from festive decorations strung between tall, narrow houses. Muffled laughter and lively music escape from behind closed windows, a stark contrast to the cold outside. A little girl, barefoot, shivers as she walks through the square, her small frame a shadow outlined against the snow. Her red hands clutch a bundle of matches, a fragile warmth against the biting cold. In the heart of winter's embrace, her determined steps echo softly on the frosted stone. On a busy town street, a little girl shuffles, her small frame swallowed by towering buildings and a bustling crowd. Her voice, a fragile whisper against the wind, barely cuts through the noise as she asks,
Match, sir, match, madame?
Bare feet, tinged blue from the biting cold, shuffle along the rough pavement, tiny red cracks marring their surface. Faces turn away, people hurry past, lost in their worlds, ignoring her desperate pleas. Warm light spills from a cozy house, illuminating a festive family dinner. A roast goose gleams under the light centerpiece of a joyous family feast. Laughter rings out as children tear into brightly wrapped presents. From the cold outside, a little girl peers in, her eyes wide with longing. Her face is pressed against the glass, a silent observer of the warmth within. The joyous scene inside contrasts sharply with her solitary, sad soul. Night descends on a street corner as a little girl seeks refuge between two houses, a fragile figure against the encroaching cold. She huddles, her thin dress offering little protection from the biting wind that whips around her. Her small hands clutch at the worn fabric, a futile attempt to ward off the growing numbness. In the dim light, her eyes reflect a deep, unsettling vulnerability, a stark street corner. The little girl's small frame is sitting against the cold brick. With a sudden, desperate motion, she strikes a match against the rough brick wall. First, the sound pierces the silence, a tiny act of defense in her loneliness. A fragile flame erupts, casting a flicker of light on her hopeful, upturned face. The flame dances carefully, a small hope of warmth against the encroaching darkness. While watching the flame, she starts dreaming. An iron stove glows red hot, radiating intense heat in the room. A little girl reaches towards the stove, drawn to its warmth. Her face is tilted up, eyes closed, as she basks in the radiant glow. Heat waves shimmer, distorting the air around the fiery stove. The sound of crackling fire fills the room, a comforting sound. She soaks in the heat, lost in the moment. On a dim street corner, a match flares, briefly illuminating a little girl's face etched with fleeting visions. The match sputters out, plunging her back into darkness, the visions disappearing as quickly as they came. She shivers, the cold now increases, biting deeper after the match's brief warmth has faded away. Alone, she wraps her arms around herself, like a shadow against the harsh, unforgiving night. At a deserted street corner, a lone figure stands shrouded in shadow, the city lights casting long, eerie shadows around her. The brief flare of a match illuminates her face, revealing a mixture of determination and despair etched into her features. She shields the fragile flame with a trembling hand against the unseen wind. Another match flares, briefly piercing the darkness before being extinguished, leaving her in deeper shadow than before. White cloth gleams, silver shines softly. Suddenly, the roast goose rises from its platter, its eyes twinkling with mischievous intent. The goose waddles forward, an absurd yet captivating sight in the otherwise elegant dining room. The impossible creature defies expectations, blurring the line between reality and whimsical fantasy. The match sputters out, and the street corner is plunged back into darkness, shadows reclaiming every inch. The goose she clutched disappears as if it were a figment of a dream, fading into the night. The little girl's stomach rumbles, a painful reminder of hunger in the overwhelming darkness. A deep, obvious sound echoes in the silence, emphasizing her desperate need. She stands alone.
Here, take a Snickers. Better? Better.
I just want the best broker and the best solution.
I'm your true broker with trusted and authentic properties.
Now get the real home your heart loves and the real data your head needs. Bayou.com. Real data, real brokers, real properties.
Alone, a small figure swallowed by the vast, indifferent night. On a deserted street corner, shadows deepen, obscuring the edges of the world. A lone figure huddles, a silhouette against the dim cityscape. The rasp of a match striking breaks the silence. A tiny flame flares, painting her face with fleeting light. Briefly, her features are revealed, etched with untold stories. Then, darkness returns, swallowing her in its embrace once more. She again started dreaming. An immense Christmas tree dominates the imagined living room, ablaze with the soft glow of countless candles. Ornaments shimmer like captured starlight, each reflecting a tiny fragment of the room's warm light. The air is thick with anticipation, a silent promise of wonder hanging in the festive space. A little girl, eyes wide with innocent awe, gazes upon the spectacle before her. Her small hand reaches out, drawn by an irresistible allure, towards a golden angel. The angel, perched high on the tree, seems to take her into a world of dreams and holiday magic. A lone match flickers, its flame dancing against the cold night air before being swallowed by darkness. Christmas tree lights ignite, casting a warm glow on the street corner, piercing the night. The lights increases, transforming into a scattering of stars. The night sky blazes with newfound constellations, blurring the line between festive lights and celestial wonders. A vast, endless night sky stretches out, the darkness punctuated by the faint glimmer of distant stars. Suddenly, a star tears through the inky blackness, a fleeting streak of brilliant light. The falling star blazes, a brief, intense spark against the eternal canvas of the cosmos. Its radiant trail fades, leaving a memory of fire in the silent areas. The universe whispers secrets of cosmic events. The stars fall a fleeting moment. The street corner is quiet, bathed in a soft, ambient glow. The air hangs still, heavy with an unseen presence. A little girl stands silently, her eyes wide, her brow furrows slightly, a whisper escaping her lips. "Someone has died," she whispers, her voice barely audible. Her grandmother's words echo in the stillness of the night. At a desolate street corner, her hands tremble violently as she fumbles with a matchbox. The tiny flame sputters to life, casting a fleeting glow on her anxious face. She shields the fragile light, her eyes darting nervously around the dark surroundings. The match flares brighter, momentarily illuminating the empty, dark street. In an ethereal space, soft light embraces grandmother, her presence a light of warmth and love. Her face radiates kindness, a gentle smile gracing her lips. The scene glows with an otherworldly affection. A vision of pure, unconditional love unfolds. Bathed in light, grandmother embodies serenity. A street corner, bathed in an ethereal glow, becomes the stage for a heart-wrenching scene. A little girl, her small hand outstretched in desperate longing. Her voice, a fragile thread of innocence, pierces the air. She cries,
Grandmother, take me with you. Don't leave me when the light goes out.
At a desolate street corner, shadows dance in the dim light. Her hands tremble as she strikes a match. She frantically ignites the remaining matches. Each spark is a fleeting hope against the encroaching darkness, a desperate attempt to ward off the unavoidable. Flames erupt, burning brighter than the sun, casting an ethereal glow on the tranquil town below. A tender embrace between grandmother and granddaughter, a bond unbreakable even in this radiant inferno. United, they begin to ascend, their forms outlined against the backdrop of blazing light. Soaring higher, they rise above the familiar rooftops, leaving behind the earthly realm. Ascending into the imagined heaven, they are silhouetted against the radiant flames, their journey eternal. Ascending beyond the earthly realm, she met her father, and they leave behind shadows and sorrow, rising toward an ethereal glow. The air grows warmer, lighter as they climb higher, a sense of profound peace beginning to settle over them. A world of radiant light unfolds, promising eternal love and serenity, a haven far removed from earthly world. They are embraced by an infinite areas, a world where time ceases to exist and joy knows no bounds. Next morning, the sun ascends, painting the snow-blanketed streets with a gentle, pale light. A hush falls over the town, the air crisp and cold. Chimneys exhale smoke, signaling the start of a new day. Footprints begin to dot the fresh snow, a sign of the stirring townspeople. The promise of a fresh morning hangs in the air, a blanket of tranquility over the winter landscape. Townspeople huddle on a frigid street corner, their breath misting in the air, a silent tableau of concern etched on their faces. Against the cold brick, the little girl slumps motionless, an unnatural rose tint burning on her cheeks. A serene smile graces her lips, a peaceful contrast to the stark reality of the scene. Scattered burnt matches lay around her, their blackened heads whispering a silent, untold story of warmth and fading light. The town stands still, cloaked in sorrow. Faces etched with loss, the townspeople gather, a somber tableau against the familiar streets. Heads shake in disbelief, whispers carrying on the wind.
Poor child.
Eyes glisten with unshed tears, reflecting the bleakness of the day and the weight of their shared grief. A collective shiver runs through the crowd, a silent acknowledgement of the girl's final moments.
She must have been so cold.
Mournful murmurs blend with the rustle of leaves, a remembrance for innocence lost. echoing through the desolate town. Her final moments, filled with personal discovery, pass unnoticed, a touching contrast to the world's noisy indifference. Dear viewers, long ago, the newly founded Kingdom of Arendelle thrives under the bright sun, its villages bustling with life and purpose. An aura of peace and prosperity radiates from every corner of the vibrant village. In the distance, untouched and majestic, the mountains stand as silent guardians of Arendelle. An old woman, her eyes twinkling with ancient wisdom, captivates a group of children with whispers of the Moonstone legend. Once upon a time, in the vast royal library, Princess Elara pores over ancient texts, her young face illuminated by the moon's soft glow through arched windows. Shadows dance among the towering shelves filled with leather-bound books as she delicately opens a worn journal. The journal, penned by Queen Astrid, her great-great-grandmother, reveals elegant script hinting at forgotten royal secrets. The journal details a prophecy, foretelling a time of shadows that will fall upon the kingdom. A haunting echo fills the silent library. A chilling darkness creeps over Arendelle, its shadow threatening to engulf the once vibrant kingdom. The northern lights, usually a spectacle of hope, flicker with a strange, subdued glow, mirroring the growing dread below. An unnatural gloom blankets the land, whispers of an impending doom carried on the wind. The air grows heavy, a palpable sense of unease settling deep within the hearts of Arendelle's inhabitants. Queen Freya senses the encroaching darkness, her face etched with worry as she gazes towards the ominous horizon. Sunlight floods the throne room, highlighting the worried faces of courtiers assembled before Queen Freya. Queen Freya, regal but burdened, surveys her court from the throne, the silence amplifying the kingdom's terrible state. Queen Freya declares, her voice echoing with the weight of her people's fear.
Our crops wither in the fields. Our ships are locked in ice. Fear festers in the hearts of our people.
Elara steps forward, her voice tinged with urgency and hope.
Sister, the prophecy. The Moonstone. Perhaps it is time to consider its power.
Flickering candlelight illuminates the royal library, casting dancing shadows on ancient tomes and scrolls. Elara, Sir Rowan, and Leora gather around an ornate table, an old journal spread before them, its cryptic contents promising both hope and peace. Elara's voice cuts through the tense atmosphere.
The journal speaks of a moonstone, slumbering in the Silver Hollow. It says it's the only way to stop the encroaching darkness.
Leora Varns.
The Silver Hollow is deep within the Frostpeak Mountains. A treacherous journey awaits.
Sir Rowan pledges, his voice ringing with conviction.
Then, we must go. The kingdom depends on it. I pledge my sword to this cause.
Elara, Rowan, and Leora step onto the vast, frozen river. Faces contorted against the biting wind and stinging snowflakes. The air is filled with the whisper of wind and the crunch of snow underfoot as they venture deeper into the icy expanse. A sudden, ominous crack echoes across the frozen river, the ice groaning ominously beneath their feet. Nervous glances are exchanged as they realize the perilous nature of their journey. The trio ventures into the whispering forest, where an unsettling silence reigns, broken only by the rustling leaves like hushed secrets. Suddenly, piercing through the darkness, pairs of glowing eyes ignite the night. Frostwolves comes out from the shadows, their icy breath misting the frigid air, bringing a threat. With firm determination, Rowan steps forward, a protective barrier against the encroaching predators. He positions himself defensively before Alara and Leora, ready to confront the spectral menace of the Whispering Forest. Against the backdrop of towering, snow-laden peaks, Alara, Rowan, and Leora begin their arduous climb up the steep, icy slopes of the northern mountains. The biting wind howls around them as they navigate the treacherous ascent, each step a test of endurance. Leora closes her eyes, her face serene as she reaches out, seeking guidance from the wind spirits. A subtle shift in the air currents, a whisper of the wind guides them away from a hidden crevasse, averting disaster. With renewed determination, they press on, the icy landscape stretching before them like an endless, frozen sea. The mountains loom above, silent and majestic, as the three figures continue their perilous journey into the heart of the frozen wilderness. Under the ethereal glow of a pale crescent moon, they arrive at the mouth of Silver Hollow. The cave entrance glitters with icicles, each one a crystal spear in the frigid night. A silent invitation to a place of frozen beauty and unknown peril. The air hangs heavy and still, promising a journey into the heart of winter's embrace. The entrance looms, a gateway to a hidden world sparkling with icy secrets. Inside the Silver Hollow cave, shimmering ice formations cast an ethereal glow, reflecting the faint light from the entrance. The air bites with a chilling cold as the trio ventures deeper, their breaths clouding before them like ghostly apparitions. A hush falls over the cavern, broken only by the soft crunch of their boots on the icy floor. An unsettling stillness pervades, a sense of unseen eyes watching their every move. The silence amplifies their unease, a palpable tension hanging heavy in the frigid air. They pause, a shared glance betraying their mounting dread. They are not alone in this frozen sanctuary. They step into a vast chamber, its scale dwarfing them. Guarding the Moonstone, Skara, the Moon Serpent, coils majestically, an ethereal being of ice and mist. Skara's form shimmers, moonlight catching on its icy scales. The serpent's eyes burn with an ancient glacial light, like stars trapped in ice. A silent challenge hangs in the air. The chamber echoes with Skara's terrifying presence. In the Moonstone chamber, Skara's voice echoes, each word a chilling command that echoes through the ancient stones. Alara stands firm, her gaze firm despite the visible shaking in her resolve. Skara's piercing inquiry cuts through the silence. Why do you seek the Moonstone? Alara's response is earnest, her voice ringing with desperate hope.
Not for power, but to save my people. I come with no greed, only hope.
In the Moonstone chamber of Silver Hollow, Skara lowers his head, a shadow of doubt flickering in his eyes. He searches her face intently, seeking a glimpse of truth in her expression. Skara demands, her voice echoing in the chamber. Then prove your heart. The cave walls seem to dissolve, transforming into shimmering mirrors of memory. The Silver Hollow glitters with countless mirrors, each ablaze with visions of Ilara's deepest fears. One mirror reflects her sister's face, etched with profound disappointment, a silent judgment that cuts deep. Another shows a battlefield strewn with the torn and bloodied banners of her kingdom, a sign of potential ruin. Ilara stands amidst the terrifying reflections, her resolve visibly cracking under the weight of her anxieties. Tears well in her eyes, each drop a heavy sign of the burden of her fears and the trial she faces. The trial of reflection chamber shimmers with countless mirrors, each reflecting a twisted version of Ilara. A tension fills the air as Ilara confronts her so many shadows. With firm determination, Ilara declares,
Courage is not the absence of fear. It is walking forward despite it.
In the Moonstone Chamber, the Moonstone rises, its silvery light bathing the room in an otherworldly glow. The moon ascends from its pedestal, shimmering like liquid moonlight. Ilara's hand reaches out, drawn by an irresistible force to the Moonstone's ethereal radiance. Her eyes reflect the stone's luminescence, a silent promise of connection. Her hands meet the Moonstone's surface, feeling a paradox of icy cold and vital warmth surging through her fingertips. A blinding light erupts as a silver pulse shoots skyward, momentarily banishing the shadows. The chamber is bathed in ethereal light, every detail illuminated with otherworldly clarity. The air crackles with unseen energy as the Moonstone's power echoes through the chamber. A crucial moment unfolding. A silver pulse emanates across Arendelle, a silent promise of change. The frozen fields awaken, releasing the rich, sweet scent of spring into the night air. Stars ignite in the inky sky, their brilliance mirrored in the glistening defrost. The ice surrenders to warmth, its crystalline grip loosening under the celestial glow. Ribbons of the northern lights dance across the heavens, painting the sky with vibrant hues of hope. In the Moonstone Chamber, soft light bathes Skara as she prepares to address Ilara, her posture conveying deep respect. With graceful movements, Skara lowers her head slightly, acknowledging Ilara's presence in the serene chamber. The chamber glows with an ethereal light, illuminating the reverence in Skara's eyes as she looks upon Ilara. Skara's words echo softly in the chamber, filled with the gentle power of the Moonstone. The Moonstone knows your heart. Its light is yours to guide. The Moonstone's soft glow seems to pulse in response, a silent affirmation of Skara's heartfelt declaration to Ilara. In Arendelle, villagers emerge as the oppressive darkness recedes, their faces reflecting relief and gratitude. The village, once shrouded in despair, now buzzes with the energy of renewed hope. Eyes filled with thankfulness turn upward, gazing at the sky as if acknowledging a divine intervention. A collective sense of healing washes over Arendelle, uniting its people in a shared moment of deliverance. Ilara returns to the grand throne room of Arendelle, her presence a light of hope. Queen Freya, her eyes glistening with unshed tears, awaits her younger sister. A tight embrace ensues, a powerful mix of relief and pride passing between sisters. The air crackles with renewed hope, the kingdom safe once more under their protection. In the royal castle's highest tower, the Moonstone radiates a soft, otherworldly glow, pushing back the shadows of the night. Bathed in ethereal light, Ilara stands watch, a solitary figure against the encroaching darkness. Her shadow is framed by the Moonstone's gentle radiance, casting a serene and peaceful aura around her. A look of calm serenity graces Ilara's face as she guards the Moonstone, the castle, and all within. Under the radiant glow of the full moon, Arendelle is bathed in soft silver light. A gentle, protective aura descends upon the kingdom, a silent testament to the Moonstone's enduring magic. The ethereal light touches every rooftop and spire, weaving stars of peace and enchantment across the land. Even the shadows seem to soften, as if hushed by the moon's kind and calm presence. High on the Arendelle mountainside, the wind roars, as Ilara, Rowan, and Leora stand shoulder to shoulder. The crisp mountain air whips through their hair, a tangible reminder of their shared ordeal. Below them, Arendelle sprawls, a kingdom reborn from the ashes of strife. Each stone of the city whispers tales of courage and unity, a sign of their firm spirit. They are heroes, forged in the fires of adventure, their faces etched with the marks of trials overcome. An unbreakable bond shines between them, a promise whispered on the wind, echoing through the mountains. In the royal castle, Elara's chamber is bathed in soft moonlight. Elara stands by the window, her silhouette framed against the vast, moonlit kingdom. The silver light graces her face, casting a serene and hopeful glow upon her features.
As long as courage and kindness live in the hearts, the Moonstone's magic would never fade. A new legend has begun.
A voice echoes, filled with promise and proclaims, sealing the night with destiny.